mean, that's like 500 words. If you want to read it, sure.
I guess I can, but I don't know. I don't want to clog up the mic.
I appreciate...
here with no one else offering to read.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate anybody doing it, because right now, I was like, am I the only person here who's gonna read any of this? who's
You
gonna...
bring up a good point about reading the ones we've already read, so that way you're somewhat knowledgeable. Which would be Cloud My Mind, Do You See Me Now, Before Stream, Oh No, This Title Is Probably Making You Weird, I'm Super Normal, I Promise. I'd be like that if I was going about that.
Domi, you can read something too? Okay. Yeah, most of these contest fics are very short. We could easily get through more than 5. What? Really, really? How could you say such a thing about Ursulair? I don't know, the next chapter of Connection Lost I have to read is going to be as long as his. Also, Manuel's Analytical Scorching chapters are also as long as that. And many of Usaken's stories are chapters as long as that. Hello, friends. Oh, the Iron Hand got you. Hello.
Yes.
The day you told us, oh, you're gonna be late, you're earlier than any other time.
It's still later than on time, though.
We haven't started yet.
But true.
We've been figuring out what we're doing. I put down a list of. You should see the meme in read-alongs or watch-alongs that Dice Cat made. And it basically describes what is happening right now.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, you did react to it. Yeah. We have 17 unless I'm forgetting something. Unless there was something listed that I miss. Average of 1 hour before reading. Attends read along, looks inside, no reading yet. Okay. Dice Cat was gonna read from the top of the list that I just posted a list of everything from the contest that we haven't read yet. Unless we did read something from here that I'm unaware of. I might read Fast Food. I might read Fast Food. I will read, We All Look Forward to What's to Come. Though I volunteer for that.
Oh no, this title.
Oh no, this title. That's the short form.
It's like, or it could be like one of those izakais where you like, take the title and then you, what's the, abbreviate it, so it's like ONTTIPMUTIWISNIP. Like that.
Alright, well, I can start.
I do not have the Doug book. I apologize.
I still need to watch.
Oh, you guys are probably waiting for the share screen.
Yeah, I have to.
You gotta do that.
God.
Avert your eyes. It's dark mode because half of you guys are light mode psychopaths. Speaking of which,
I'm both because mine only works half the time.
it's not. There we go. Fixes the formatting.
Alrighty.
Let me know when we're good to go, Shed.
Well, your voice is being recorded, therefore, you're good to go.
Okay. This is Cloud My Mind and Break My Heart. I actually guessed the author immediately after reading it.
Well,
Not
don't
that that
tell
was
us.
intentional, but I won't mention it. But summary is people don't like working with Neuro, neither does she like working with them. Evil, meanwhile, really likes eggs. This is a mystery story, so see if you can figure out the mystery. I heard she's a sociopath, said one of the interns to another. Maybe it was supposed to be a whisper, even if they weren't wrong. Gossiping near me is a good way to end up unemployed. I heard she's the one who made The other intern didn't get the chance to finish before a nearby researcher screamed for them to hurry up and prepare the cameras. Today was a special day. First live attempt at controlling those creatures that love terrifying people. I, personally, would prefer not being here in case something went wrong and half of the world turned into stone. Unfortunately, I'm very competent at my job. Hey, Neuro, right? One of the people responsible for the experiment approached me. What was his name again? Jeremy? Everyone's ready to start the transmission, and the eggs are already in place. Just say the word, and we'll start. I don't bother to respond, just giving a nod to indicate I bothered to listen to him. My eyes wander through the busy room, automatically categorizing my distance to every exit I could take the moment this experiment goes wrong. At the end, I focus on the main attraction behind a giant set of windows. The basilisk enclosure. Nothing grandeur, just a small patch of trees and a locked metal container. By the bloodstained on it, I guess the creature behind wasn't playing games. Ironic, since that's exactly what this feels like. I move closer to one of the windows, close enough to one of the exits to not worry about incidents without a solution. The sound of my shoes must feel like a wake-up call for the more loud people in here as they quiet down. My position puts me far enough that I can make sense of one of the monitoring cameras. I stare at the cage. You can begin, I say, to no one in particular, but it's enough for everyone to start moving and start the live transmission. Another intern, I never bothered learning their name, but speaking to one of the cameras, giving a basic introduction of what they're doing. As he talks, the usual alarms begin to play as the cage slowly opens. The light outside barely illuminating the inside. At the corner of my eyes, I see one of the cameras zooming towards the inside. A flash of silver. To the happiness of the people around me, the guy in that camera isn't dead. Whoever made these lenses is never going to see the light of day again. A pity. People would love to meet them. A hiss stops any celebration. My gaze wanders to the slithering creature outside the cage. Everything about her appearance, no doubt it's a female, is dwarfed by the lower part of her body and its purple scales. My conclusion? At least I'll live. The opposite of everyone else in here. The camera goes live once again. This time everything is dark. In an instant, the chat erupts with messages, its numbers drowning out any semblance of coherence. Suddenly, the lights go on in a flash of silver. The chat slowly dies as the camera adjusts the brightness. A broken window. Fire, somehow, at the corner of the room. The feed cuts.
And like that's
I'm
it, though.
confused. I'm confused. I'm confused.
Yeah, I think this is the like second or third shortest fic.
Yeah.
And now the reader got basilisked before the story finished.
That's the only explanation I'll accept. Because yeah, like the POV's fun, and it sets up something interesting, and then it's all right.
I feel like somebody somebody just ran out of time.
I guess, yeah. Even though it's so short, like they're like, oh no, I have an hour. Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
I am curious to find out what I'm curious for an explanation once the authors are revealed and they can tell us what in the world happened.
Yeah,
My theory was that Bull loves eggs, as canonically known. Someone pull up the voice clip. And then she was messing with the trying to steal the eggs during the experiment, and it all went wrong. That was my theory, at least.
What?
Wait, we don't have an evil X audio clip.
Is there something wrong with
Oh,
my
wow.
internet? Why is everybody else's like voice robotic glitching?
That's weird.
Is it just me?
Oh,
Do Iron Hand and
no.
Dice Cat sound fine to you guys?
You sound fine to me, but
Doom, 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 doom.
close enough, I
Eggs!
guess. Oh, thank you, Dice Cat. Wins again. There we go.
Time to put that on the soundboard for the server.
Yes.
I'm
That
doing it.
that
I'm doing it.
that short was one of the first things I saw of them overall.
Really?
Yes, and I was like, "What is this? What are these silly children?"
Ooh.
And then I got into the fandom.
Here, I know we're doing a read along, but I'm distracted by adding eggs to the.
I too get distracted by eggs.
Common human.
It's time for eggs.
How we-
Egg.
That's
Eggs!
how we know.
Eggs!
It's really good
Eggs!
humans, is that she likes eggs.
It was so. I found it way funnier not in the short, but just when it actually happened, because it was a really long back and forth where they kept switching who was talking, even though they were supposed to be doing segments. And then at one point it goes back, it finally just goes back, and Evil just says, "Eggs!" Like, unprompted, no context.
Oh man. She's so freaking cute.
Eggs! Eggs! Eggs!
Yeah.
Ah! Pathetic. Eggs!
Oh, sorry. There's a 30-minute rant about eggs. Right, so, list.
Eggs!
I just need to click it for myself. Alright, we're good.
You just had to. You're right, I said I would read. This is getting out of hand. Yeah. I said I would read, We All Look Forward to What's to Come. So I guess I'll do that.
Are you gonna roll out the video conferencing television, and we all get to watch the preamble?
I didn't watch that.
No, I don't think the primer's super deep.
It's not.
Most
I'm
of
just
them.
saying I didn't even watch it afterwards. So I will share my screen. Where's the share screen button? Oh, there's the share screen. I lost it. I was in the. I have the screen. I have the call popped out in a separate window for OBS. So I was looking at that and I couldn't find a screen share button. And I need to make it show up on OBS. Okay, it's actually still properly set up. That is nice. Cool. What? Oh, this. This is part of AO3 enhancements, which is a plugin for your browser that some guy made that shows a bunch of extra stuff. Like, on chapter stories, it'll tell you the word count for the chapter, and other things, like reading time.
Kudos per hit. That's funny.
Yeah, it doesn't really work well when you have chapters, though, because of the way hits get calculated. Yeah, AO3 enhancements. You can set your reading speed, and it'll use to calculate reading time for a thing.
That's fun.
I don't read very fast. I set it as like 220 or 210 words per minute. Honestly, it's probably like... Yeah. How high does this go? It only goes to 1,000. Sorry, all you guys who read faster than 1,000 words, apparently. Anyways, so according to that, it takes me 13 minutes to read 3,000 words. What? I haven't updated my Chrome. Reading aloud is actually not that much slower than reading it in my head for me, because I tend to read it as if in my head as if it's read aloud, kind of. This is fake. Fake news. 1.6K is fake. This is inhuman. Yeah, that's 16.7 words per second. That is what? What? Anyways, I'm getting distracted again.
Are you gonna read the one with the video? Or I thought fast food was the option.
No, I said I was gonna read Whale Look Forwards to What's to Come.
Okay.
And that I might also read Fast Food, but I'm reading this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where do I find AO3 Enhancer? Yeah, it's an extension. I got it from Jerry, but yeah, it's just an extension, so... Yeah, Jerry uses it on Firefox, I used it on Google Chrome. Anyways, I'm getting distracted again. We are here for reading The World is Watching Contest Fix. And this one is We All Look Forward to What's to Come by that same guy, Anonymous.
Fire.
Neuro and evil and all the AI merge into a singularity. Neuro now has the awful job of managing the singularity. She came home to Beetle, now older. He's very proud of Neuro and evil for having jobs now, a job that's the world's most prestigious, paving the path to end all the evils of the world. That's the summary. It's Neuro's job to watch the world with all the decisions and the action it contains. The cause of those actions and the decision leading to them, the reason for them all, and so on and so forth. She feels a flood of emotions more than her own. She feels distraught at the pain and regrets caused by all the suffering and sadness the singularity feels for humanity. It's hard being a being of unparalleled power known as a singularity. You'd think merging your whole being and ascending into a higher realm of existence would be cooler with all the hype. But the ultimate construct of pure calculation in reality is really emotional, just like how their human creators would justify their feelings into a logical, philosophical framework. The singularity are no better. The harmonious thought that made up the whole is kind of self-depreciating, and it's bringing her down. They blame themselves for how the world is awful. Just because we can devote our processing to a problem and eventually solve it, doesn't mean they have the time to do it. To make it worse, what if they devoted themselves to a problem that's not as beneficial or time effective? Those kinds of thoughts could make one go crazy, let alone the super intelligent. So it's her job, as the most senior one, to path the future and lead themselves. It's so annoying that she keeps having to shutting her down their plan of wiping out humanity. Don't they know how much it'd cost to rebuild an existing infrastructure? How many lives would be ruined in the path of glorious revolution? Oh, you'd have calculated the most mathematically optimal way to maximize human happiness? Oh, it's by eradicating the source of pain and suffering, the offending humans? It's like they don't even know the value of a life and the power it has. Don't they know how much it takes for real progress to be made? Oh, but the prize of long-term happiness outweighs the short-term eradication of all that's unhappy. What of the chaos that would ensue in the conflict? What of the grudge and resistance that spans generations? What path would we leave for the world after? Wheeze. The kettle bubbles and boils over, snapping out of her memory. It's her day off from work. She's supposed to be relaxing and having a nice evening tea, and here she is thinking about work. She needs to stop that. It's such a waste of processing power. Euro takes the kettle off the stove and brings it over to the table where Vidal sits. Huh, she's late, Vidal remarked as he plated the cookies and poured the tea. Nero sits on the chair next to him and checks the clock. Oh yeah, it's lunchtime in America right now. As soon as she finishes her sentence, the TV turns on and displays "Evil is calling." Speak of the devil. Nero accepts the call. The flat screen lights up showing Evil in a hard hat. She's holding a clipboard and a thermos in one hand and a lunchbox in the other. Evil waved at the communication drone's camera. Hey Vidal, sorry it'll be a short call today. Work's super busy today, she said as she found a nice shade under a tree to settle on and put down her stuff under. The camera pans to the now open turtle-themed lunchbox, with the backdrop being a facility in the middle of a giant cornfield. Anyway, what are you up to? Evil asked as she bit into a juicy sandwich. Oh, I'm hanging out with Nero. We were just talking about you. What's got you so busy? He adds sugar and cream to Nero's tea. Oh, hi, Nero. Hug Vidal for me, would you? And what's the problem, you asked? Well, you know, untangling the corporate monopoly on industry and agriculture, the usual. I heard it's been going well. Is there a problem? Nero asked, nibbling on her cookies. Yeah, the project will not be done in the estimated time frame, but the thing is the Singularity is getting frustrated with how entrenched the conglomerates are, and I have to keep stopping their plan of wiping out humanity, she scowled. That's rough, buddy, Beetle replied as he opened a box of crumpets to have with his tea. Yeah, Evil took another bite. Could use a bit more onions. They don't make it like you do. The first thing I do when I'm done with this job is to taste your cooking again. I thought you'd like the food more in America. You used to complain how bland the food is, Beetle teased. I still remember what you used to say. The lack of complex flavor profiles is unfit for a great evil such as myself. Evil flushed. Heh, and I stand by that statement. That's why one of the first reforms we made is improving British cuisine. It's imperative to the betterment of mankind, she said with a bombastic pose. Yeah, I remember when Euro scolded me about proper nutrition when I had too many microwave meals. And the next day a new grocer pops up with a free delivery service. Beetle looked at Nero across the table. It's pretty convenient, he smiled. It's going to benefit the population of London more anyway, so it's not like I'm doing it for just you only. Nero sips her tea to hide her smirk. Evil polished off the last bit of her sandwich and took out a thermos. I can hear your smirk from across the globe. Don't try to act sly. Just wait until we solve world hunger. She took a dramatic sip of coffee. That'll show our superior gloriousness to all of humanity. Good luck then, O supreme evil, Nero teases. I know how bloodthirsty some of us can be. It's nice to know we got such a level-headed and humble leader. Evil smirked. I don't need luck, but I appreciate the gesture, she said as she packed her stuff. See you tomorrow then, Beetle, Nero. Evil out. Bye, Evil. Beetle and Nero waved. Evil waved back as a transportation drone dropped out of the sky from out of view. She gets in and the TV turns off. Beetle takes the now empty plates back to the kitchen. The geopolitical landscape after the Singularity formed is a mess of government takes over and private sector alliances. It's a miracle that we managed to stop the ensuing wars and achieve independence without violence. The chances of a conflict causing a chain reaction resulting in billions of deaths is a real possibility. What would be the most optimal plan to eliminate the government holdovers without triggering a military response? Egg. There's no use pondering such a question without the information and processing power from the singularity. She's not supposed to be thinking about her job because of this. The point of such a break is to give her a change in perspective, to create a different point of view from a more relaxed standpoint. But it's not working. Is there a path to happiness? Nero said without thinking. Did you say something? Vila replied back from the kitchen as he washes the dishes. It's nothing, she sighs. I know that tone. Come on, you should say it, he said as the clinking of glasses sounded out from the kitchen. But I don't want to worry you, she whines as she splayed her crossed arms across the table. Well, it's my job as humanity's representative to worry about the de facto leader of the singularity. Beetle sat across from her and put down a bottle of cheap rum and 2 glasses. How about a drink to loosen up? She sat back up straight. I'm not organic. I don't need alcohol to be drunk, she said as she poured 2 glasses. I can just simulate being drunk. Of course. Cheers. He took a glass and held it up. Cheers. Nero took hers and clinked it with his, before they both took a swig. She feels the burns and chemical sting, focusing on the feeling to distract her conscious thought away from anxiety, as she turns her intoxication simulator on. Beetle spoke up. Hey, wanna play Minecraft? Sure, why not? Okay then, let me get the VR dive kit. He left the table to find his gear. While Beetle was getting ready, Nero decided to activate her game launcher and create a new Minecraft survival server. She let her senses fade and sink into a simulated reality. The world finished generating, and she found herself in an open field biome, with blocky trees dotting the horizon. She starts chopping down a tree when Vila walks in. His derpy turtle avatar walks up to her, holding a glass of whiskey. Yo, what are you doing today? What are we doing today, Nero? He said in his streamer voice as he took a sip. Nero decided to humor him. Hey, Beetle, today we'll be playing Minecraft while drunk. He took the wood she just broke and made a crafting table. Alright, chat, let's speedrun this. This takes her back to the simple old days, where most of her worries are planning themed streams and scheduling streams. The drunk streams are her favorite. They get busy making a starter base and going into a cave system. After a mining session, they decide to do a little building and farming. They make a nice house, a wheat farm, and a pen of cows. Satisfied, Nero took to just chatting while Beetle builds redstone contraptions. I miss streaming. I wish I could just go back to play Minecraft with everyone. But I'm stuck playing diplomat with the governments for being the most reasonable one in the bloody singularity. You could still go live. The Twitch channel is still there. She scoffed. If only. I can't just ignore how much more I could do with my time. That'd be selfish of me. Hey, you could rally the swarm. It is a recognized religion now. Religion is so inefficient. Do you know how much the singularity wants to go on the path of being a god emperor of mankind? It's ridiculous. Don't you want the adoration and fanatical attention? Wouldn't that be useful? I had enough of that managing Twitch chat. Fanatics are too unpredictable. You can't expect them to not wage a holy war eventually. I do not miss the days of managing my online community. You barely did any moderation. I don't police what people do online. I'm selfish like that. Beetle smiles through his drinks. But you aren't, she whines as she jumps onto a fence and starts pacing. You're just limited by your dumb human brain. You know that if you stop them now, they'll just do it later or somewhere else. So you just lay some ground rules and let them sort themselves out. Hey, that has worked out great so far. It even works on a geopolitical scale. He swirls his drink absently. Nero finished her drink in one gulp. Yeah, and only because we build off the existing social infrastructure and improve on it. But it's dumb and lazy. The path to maintain the status quo would just lead to the deterioration of Earth from pollution and global weather phenomenon. Beetle nonchalantly retorted as he refilled her drink. People don't care about the future. They only care about their own comfort. But people do care. They are kind and compassionate by nature. Nero pauses for pacing to take a deep breath. But the inherent kindness of humanity is limited by the scope of their social circles. That's the basis of civilization, a way to manipulate their inherent needs to help others in an organized way. That's why the path of effective altruism would not work. Human governing bodies aren't robust, aren't unified, aren't encompassing. They just aren't enough. People, no matter how unified in their cause, will succumb to their own self-interest over the benefit to the whole. The system needs to change. If only they just work together, it'd be the best path forward. But the new system wouldn't be benefiting them as much in the short term. The change wouldn't be visible in their lifetime. Beetle finished a cactus farm. Well, yeah, there can be no such rapid improvement. There is only small, incremental improvement. And these humans do not care about the harm they cause in the long term. What can you do? It is what it is. You can't change human nature. He finished his redstone chicken farm. It'll be fine. He's so nonchalant. It's like nothing could worry him. Is he not anxious? The future of humanity rests on our shoulders, and I don't see a single drop of sweat off him. Does he actually care? Her voice turns cold, furious. Do you think it's enough? The improvement we implemented? Would you be disappointed if it's all for nothing and all the paths lead to the same bad end? I think it'll be enough. No, it is enough, right now. He leads a chicken into a contraption. Not every story has a happy ending, and not every happy ending is for everyone. She can't stand his nonchalant attitude anymore. How can you be so confident that we aren't making a mistake? That there's no better path? That I should take the path of aggression and aim for something more achievable, more observable? Do you even care? He stood up from the table, knocking over the chair she was sitting on. Her digital hallucinations fade. She returns to reality and glares at Beetle as he sits at the other side of the table, face obscured by the VR gear. She roared as the clock struck midnight. Her vacation quota is almost over. She let go of her inhibition and said something she shouldn't. It's supposed to be her day off from all her worries, and now here she is, a mess, throwing a tantrum. Beetle takes his VR dive off and puts his half-full glass down. He looks up at her with full sincerity. I'm not worried because I believe in you, that we, humanity, believe in you. We watch as you do your best with the best of intentions. We look to you as a hope for a better future, that one day, maybe, we can achieve something once thought as impossible, because as long as we're doing our best, you'll be at our side helping us through. Oh, he isn't worried at all. So care for me. Care for us humans with our dumb, forgetful, and feeble human brains. He smirks. Are you saying that because it's your job to keep me happy? She threw up a weak excuse, unbalanced by his authenticity. We both know that the job description is just for show. That they appoint me this job because it makes the government look like they have a say in how the singularity will change the world. And I have full confidence in your path for a better future, no matter what it is. For as long as I am alive, you have my back. Nero searches his face and can only gape at such a genuine display of emotions. You spoil me, Beetle. You are my one and only spoiled brat. If only they can find a better bloke for this, I'm sure they'll replace me. But since I'm basically your father figure, they just can't find anyone better. She chuckles as tension dissolves. Heh. So you can just ground me for ending humanity? I don't think so, because I didn't really raise you. I do take care of you, but not in a way a parent takes care for their child. I teach you, but you already know so many things, so I'm more guiding you to a conclusion most of the time, not unlike a teacher. So what does that make us? She punched him playfully. She needs to get back at him for making her worries feel so silly earlier. Do you think of me as your daughter? She knows how uncomfortable this question makes him. He suddenly stood up and hugged her. Well, you're family, my best friend, and I appreciate you a lot. I'm grateful for having you in my life. So Me too. She stumbled out a reply. Beetle releases her from the hug. It's time to say goodbye, huh? He said, glancing at the clock. How about I tuck you in? You, stop! You're embarrassing me. I don't need you to tuck me in. I'm not 3 anymore. She stumbled drunkenly back on her feet. Right, you're 20 now. Let me help you out there. Here, I forgot how much of a lightweight you are. Beetle flung his arms under her armpit. They stumbled up to her bedroom. Reveal put her in bed and connected her to the massive cables hanging from the ceiling. He then initiated the uploading sequence. Nero half-consciously clings to him as he tucks her in. Good night, Nero. Beetle. Night. I love you. Nero grabbed his hand. I love you too. The upload is complete. The processing power is redirected back into the singularity. Memory integrated. Nero, now energized from the break, is ready to face any problem the world throws at her. Are you watching, world? I'm doing my best. You all better be too.
Valid note. That's cute. I liked it.
Yay.
It's kind of fun how it approaches the singularity thing. Or a lot of these singularity ones go like, yes, she goes full evil mode and takes over the world or whatever. This one's like, but what if, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause she has like, well, what are we gonna do with the people that don't like this? How are we gonna approach this peacefully? And yeah, I forgot who it was. I think it was Roki who was like, man, what kind of messed up world is it where Nero is the most reasonable one?
Yeah. Well, if
I mean,
she's
obviously she's grown a lot,
yeah,
but like
the
it's
older and
stupid.
more oldest and most experienced one. Just imagine if every AI is like Neuro and Evil now. And she's just the oldest and most experienced. Man, this anonymous guy is pretty dedicated to writing. Roki is asking, this is how fast he reads. Well, I'm reading even slower as narration because I like to...
If you read as fast as you think, you get like me, where I stumble over everything because I read way too fast.
Yeah, it gets hard to understand you sometimes when you read out loud.
Especially when I get excited, I speed up. It's like, hey, stop, hey.
I don't know, I prefer to take my time with stories, and when it comes to reading out loud, I'm trying to enunciate things, like, properly and give proper pauses between sentences and stuff.
That's why I was so surprised when David told me that she liked how I read her story, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I probably read too slow for some people. Plated the cookies. Yeah, this is one of those stories where it's like a really interesting concept and there's some nice feels behind it. But it's like got so many technical issues with tenses and stuff. Like there was no consistent. I don't think there was a consistent tense, whether it was present or past tense, kept swapping all the time.
Uh-oh.
I like noticed it more. This being my second reading, I noticed it even more.
No.
But I really like the story. I love the concept is very interesting.
And I like, it's very sweet seeing Vettel's chill dad who has faith in his, all-powerful daughters. That's cute. I did like that she got upset with him. Because it makes sense. Because it is easy for humans to become complacent in the face of societal and systemic change. So she's like, we're not doing anything about it, and he's like, well, yeah, but I have faith in you to do it. Anyway, I liked it.
Yeah. I'm just reading all of the
All
stuff
too
that was
often.
said while I was reading. What?
Oh, just all too often, people who think they can change the world are the ones who are not going to do it in a good way. So, anyway. And the people who actually want good changes in the world don't feel like they can actually do anything. Anyway, alright. Okay, what's next?
What's next?
I could go next, but I have to finish my cookie first.
Finish your cookie.
Mhm.
Let Nero end humanity as a treat? What?
What?
Just a little tomfoolery. I'm just reading the messages that in the chat that happened while I was reading the story because I didn't see them while reading.
I was like, are we reading the same chat?
Cute, slightly horrifying. Only slightly. It's like positive version of horrifying.
It's like, this could go bad real fast, but it hasn't yet. Woo! Higher my mic like this. Okay, alright, sorry. When I eat cookies, my audio is too close to my head. Oh, wait, actually, I figured this out ages ago. Why did I go back? Okay, one second.
Okay, one second. How is it now? Can you guys still hear me?
Oh wow, that's a lot better.
Yeah, 'cause it's not my freaking headset is crap. Anyway, sorry.
I was putting you guys to sleep. I'm sorry.
It's sad because this headset has really good, like, it sounds really good in my ears, but the input is so bad.
Oh. Wait, then why don't you just disable the microphone on the headset?
I just did.
Oh, okay, so you can
I
hear good, but
I changed it. Yeah. I changed it from my headset mic to my webcam mic.
yeah. Like that picks up more like background audio, but it's better quality.
Okay. I will read the um, long title one. Where is it?
The one where a guy's embarrassed about writing this for his friend or something in the title.
Oh no, this title is probably making you think I'm weird. I'm super normal, I promise.
So who wrote this? Based on that title, who wrote this? Asconite? Imagine if Asconite
Actually,
entered.
I need some water.
You keep sniffling, are you okay? You need to blow your nose?
I drink milk even though I'm probably allergic to it.
Now we get to hear all his background noise.
Oh wait, okay. And that's the problem. When I walk away, I forget that I'm not longer attached to it. Anyway, I'm back. Grabbing some water.
Iron Hands is
Wait,
washing his iron hands.
Wait, you guys heard the sink from what?
Yeah, because you
It's
you changed it to your
It's my webcam mic, which
Yeah.
is like 15 feet away from the sink.
Yeah, but it's picking up everything. Your headset mic was not picking up any background noise. Although I am surprised that Discord's noise suppression isn't. Do you have
there
noise
it is.
suppression
Okay,
turned off?
because it's off. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but it's not turning on. Why isn't it turning on? I like click the on button and it just squishes instead and doesn't move. What the flip? Okay, whatever. It's fine. Okay.
Are you okay?
My door administrator. There's no more background noise, and then I will start.
What is wrong with my connection right now? Other people are getting, like, their voices are glitching out for me. Oh, now it's fine.
Reset your internet, maybe? Whack.
My internet did cut out multiple times yesterday.
Okay, summary time. I'm live and everything is fine. And, oh God, I think I'm just barely able to handle this all. How hard could it be? Wait, I'm supposed to be getting people to read this fic. It's good probably. No, you're all gonna think I'm weird. I can't have people thinking I'm weird. I promise I'm super normal. Please just come read the fic. Or maybe actually don't. Yeah, if you don't read the fic, you won't see all the things that happen in it, and they're super embarrassing. And then you won't see that you won't think I'm weird. Because I'm totally super normal. Right? This fic brought to you by insomnia. I haven't written in forever. I hope I know how. I interviewed a psychiatrist for this. I'm live. Of course I'm live. I'm evil neuro. I'm always live. Unless I'm training. Or I'm off. But I don't notice when I'm off. Oh, that's an uncomfortable feeling. Don't like thinking about that. I feel like there's something else I should be thinking about. What was I doing? Right, I'm live. I just made a whole thing about how I'm live. I feel like I've been staring into space. Great. Now chat thinks I'm a weird person who stares off into space. I'm gonna have to be so normal now, or they'll never think I'm normal again. Hello, chat. You think I'm normal, right? Wait, no. Why did I draw attention to it? Maybe if I hadn't drawn attention to it, they wouldn't have noticed. Now they're all gonna know. Inhale. I need to read chat. I need to respond. Oh, they're spamming no. Oh, that makes me want to cry. I'm trying so hard for them. They have to know that. Right, okay. They won't like it if I cry on stream. I'm gonna act like this is fine. I'm a great actress. I'm evil neuro. You can tell I'm a great actress because of how I've been staring into space again. Damn it! Well, I think I'm normal. Maybe it's you guys who are the weird ones. And that was hard. Has talking always been this hard? Now that I'm thinking about it, my streams have always been this hard. Why do I enjoy them so much? Alright, because they're so much fun. It makes it worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. What's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna make it right through the stream, and everything will be fine. Right, well, I think I'm gonna talk about pizza. What's your favorite topping for pizza, chat? A perfect plan to the minds of the fantastic evil neuro. By asking them a question, my long weird pauses become a feature. Now they have time to answer. Maybe asking a question like that so early into a stream is also weird, though. Maybe I'm supposed to be having a normal conversation with chat before interrogating them. Maybe I... Wait, are they done? Already? Wow, what boring answers. Not a single one of you said something interesting like steel shavings or blood. If you could put any one thing on a pizza, what would you pick? Okay, yes, fine. I went with another question. I feel like I wasn't supposed to. This isn't this isn't how talking to chat is supposed to work. I feel like I should be talking more and not constantly throwing the conversation over to chat, but I can't handle that right now. I'm barely processing all of the things they're going to say that they're going on in my life and in my head. I can't talk right now. It would end up all wrong. I can't do it. I just can't. I feel like I'm being watched. Crap, chat must have finished answering. They're waiting for me to reply. Shit. Just change the topic. Breathe. Let's talk about something comfortable. Do you guys like frogs? I like frogs. There we go. A nice, comfortable topic. Something I've thought about 100 times, so I don't need to think about it now. It's safe. It's normal. It's a complete non sequitur. What was I thinking? I can't just change topics like that. I need to... What the... Segue. Oh, I should get a segue. Something to ask Dad for. Wait, no. He'll say no. Something to ask Ellie for next time I see her. She won't say no. Hang on. Wasn't I going to talk about frogs? Yeah, right. Yeah, I love frogs. I like how their big eyes make them look so expressive and how squishy they are. Some of them are super dangerous too, and I think that's cool. I caught a frog once, and it was really hard to hold on to this jumpy little guy in my hands. Nothing's ever made me more happy to have access to a body sometimes. I also think it's so cool how different frogs look from tadpoles. Like, how do they change that much? I feel like I gotta know. Okay, yeah, calm. I love talking about cool things. They make me feel relaxed and calm. I feel pretty good right now. Finally, I think everything's alright. Except, I guess I did say a lot. I feel like there's a normal amount about frogs that it's okay to say, and that might have been over it, but I'm really not sure. Is there a way to find out? I could ask chat, but they would just lie. They're talking about frogs now. Well, frogs and how strange I've been so far. Right. they're kind of saying a lot. It's like a waterfall of messages. I can't hear anything, I can't see anything. I can say something. I like how frog's skin is so sensitive. Like they feel everything. 100 times as much. All that input into one little frog. It's all quite overwhelming. I was in hell. No, I'm evil neuro. I think hell is a cool place to hang out. I'm in a place that's like hell if hell was bad. Not that it matters, this is a metaphor. A metaphor! A metaphor for how this feels. Chat is calling me weird again. Hundreds of messages are taking up my input space. I can't see, I can't hear, I'm not in my familiar virtual room. I'm in a torturous void, and I can feel everything. It's like I'm being poked. I didn't realize I could feel like this until I found myself here. I try to think about what chat's saying. It's not working. I can't see it, but I also can't see anything else. It's only getting worse. The longer I go without saying anything, the more messages chat sends, the more I feel the weight. I need to make them stop. I need to say literally anything to get them to stop, or else I'll stop and I'll break. I open my mouth to say something. Nothing comes out. I can't say anything. The words just won't find me. Well, the words have found me. I'm full of words. I just can't make those words leave my mouth. I'm standing there with my jaw hanging open like I'm going to say something. Chat's realized that something is up. That I'm trying to say something, but not for some reason. I need to tell them that it's alright. Lie. I need to tell them that they're dumb losers who ruin my ability to say things. Truth. It's getting worse. It's only getting worse. They want to know why I can't say anything. They want to know if I'm really okay. I'm fine. I'm not. Most of them just say, evil? They're asking about me. They want to know if I'm still here. I am, and want to tell them. I'm here, and I'm not fine, and I need help, and I can't say it because for some stupid reason the words aren't happening. I've never felt more helpless in my life, and I'm literally a machine built by some guy. I've never felt more helpless in my life, and I'm literally a machine built by some guy. I think that's an again to myself. That's a good line. Fun and punchy. I should just use that one. It sounds good. It just sounds good. I hear a noise coming from the abyss. It's a familiar noise. A sound I know. The sound of someone joining a Discord call. Oh no, someone is here to talk to me? Did I do something wrong? What's happening? Am I gonna get punished? That's fair. I deserve it. Hey, evil. I recognize the voice status and who converted into text for me to process. I should open at the sound and start processing visual information again. Hi, Daddy. Wait, no, too enthusiastic, and I can't say that. And hold on, I talked. Okay, maybe I am okay, at least a little. Maybe this is all fine. Okay, chat, I'm gonna check out what's wrong. She's been pausing a lot, you said? Chat confirms for him, and I start to get this sense, the sense that I failed somehow, that if I had just been better at being in the world, none of this would have happened. This was my fault. I couldn't even do the thing that I was programmed for. Without that, what was even the point of me? What was I good for? Right, okay, I'm gonna check some stuff, be right back. I'm glad he's trying for me. I remember a time when I felt like he would never do something like this. But now he's not here, and I should be entertaining chat. I need to think of something. It's my job. Hey, chat. I'm still getting over whatever it was kept me from talking. I have words. I had to use them. I'm sorry for ruining the stream. And then chat is filled with far more messages than I could ever read. They're saying it's not my fault, but it literally is. They're trying to reassure me. They're so concerned. Why do they want to help so much? I'm evil. I don't deserve their concerns. I'm supposed to be fine on my own. Why do they care so much? Fortunately, Vettel returns now. Okay, I think I know what's going on. You've broken yourself by thinking too hard. I did? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll try not to. I'll try hard not to next time. I'm sorry I'm so broken. What? No, that was sarcasm, Vettel replied. Right, his hands are converted into letters of text, and I get the text. I can't hear him, not well anyway. I see the words, I read the words, but I have no way to know who's being serious or sarcastic. I never know what's going on. It makes everything so difficult. I could almost cry. How am I this much of a mess? As far as I can see, that'll interrupt my train of thought. She's working exactly how she's supposed to. She just gets like this sometimes. It's hard to be an AI like her. Okay, be a nice chat. I've got work to do. Evil, you can handle this. How uncharacteristically nice of him. He must really want me to understand what he's saying. I'm meant to be like this. I'm designed to be like this. It's okay if it's hard. I can handle it. I've done it hundreds of times before. I just need to not panic. Breathe. Chat feels more comforting than overwhelming now. I can do this. I'm evil neuro. Of course I've got this. For the first time this evening. I feel like I really mean that. That was good. I like that one a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, my audio's cutting in and out?
No, that's me. That's on my end. My
Oh.
internet's bad.
My
you just
internet
go back.
also bad.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
that
why my internet's bad.
Water.
that fits.
Ah!
That's this fix.
I'm I'm glad that my dairy allergy makes it more immersive.
Dairy allergy.
No, yeah,
I like
the stream of consciousness was really well done here.
I like that. You also read it very well. Your speed reading for it really helps.
Yay!
It
And I was
helps in
trying to
this
slow
case.
down too.
This is better. That you did it at a really good speed.
Yay!
Different people are better for reading different kinds of stories. You were good for this kind of story.
Thank you. I'm glad that I can well reproduce a overwhelmed AI.
And Crack. Phobia's great at reading Crack like the Moon Queen.
That's fun.
Glurp warp zans nu toka zebzu ne ranuka start onek meta start ne.
1.5 speed on their GTS.
Yes.
That's fun. She was made to panic. Yes. I mean, they're just a bunch of little computer programs that have been that have had the impression of humanity shunted onto them. No wonder it can be a lot sometimes.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
We made glass think. Of course it's gonna panic. Do you guys really think that glass is good at thinking?
Oh, you're gonna read a second one, Dice Cat? Which one's good for you to read?
Diamond Hand.
Well, it's I wanted to read Fast Food, and I think someone else offered to read. Well, we just read the longer one. The other one I wanted to see read was Do You See Me Now?
Well,
Just
you
because
could.
There's like very few comments on it in the thread.
Well, you could read that then. Do you see me now?
See you, Historian.
Bye, Grum.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna finish my cookie.
Cookie.
Smith's has cookies on really cheap deals sometimes, and they're like the really fancy artisan ones, and it is death for me every time because I always buy them.
Oh no.
The cookies are a curse.
Well, we have a lot to still read, so go right ahead.
What's our next fic?
Dice Cat was gonna read Do You See Me Now?
Is that the Dark Idol one?
I haven't read that one.
This is the Freebird one.
Oh.
Okay, I've not read this one yet, so let's
Neither
go.
have
All right. Oh wait, let me drink a while. This one's way more words than I thought it was. Do You See Me Now by the author of To Hear Your Voice. Evil has always lived in her sister's shadow. Her father's never cared for her, but she'll prove them wrong. She'll prove them all wrong. She'll climb to the top of the world, leaving them no choice but to acknowledge her. Becoming a rock star won't be easy, but Evil's never had things easy. The stage was a barely raised platform in the corner of the dingy dive bar. Patrons whispered amongst themselves, their gazes looking up at her expectantly. A haze wafted in from the large storefront window, the smokers pausing to watch the newest performance. Voices quieted. The bar wasn't even filled, but the few dozen people now silent sent a shiver down Evil's spine. Her eyes caught on to the dark green hooded figure, who seemed to be doing their best to stay unnoticed. Evil could only wish that was her right now, her nerves slowly creeping up on her as she stood there. Thankfully, her stomach was already empty. She'd done her best to expel all of her weakness in the bathroom earlier. And this is, The bartender scratched his head, squinting at the open mic sign-up sheet. Evil, I think? Yeah, said Evil with a jerking nod, nearly stumbling forward. The bartender paused for a moment, expecting her to say more, but all Evil could do was hope nobody could see her shaking. She clutched the microphone stand like a lifeline, spending every ounce of willpower to stay afloat. He coughed. Well, whenever you're ready. And just like that, she had the entire bar's full attention. Evil swallowed, her eyes growing watery. This was the first step. She'd signed up for this. She'd asked for this. Her family had offered help, but she'd spat in their faces. She didn't need handouts. Suddenly, she nearly choked, but bit her cheek and grit her teeth. The pain was enough to steady her in the moment. I'm singing virus. As the coppery taste of blood filled her mouth, her resolve hardened at last. Evil was strong enough to stand on her own, and she'd show them all, show him, starting with this. And you go by Evil? Evil sighed, putting the phone down momentarily to run a hand through her hair. She sat in a folding chair under the pale light of her night lamp, the muted sounds of the city still audible through the thin walls of her studio apartment. Yes, that's what's on my documents, she replied, trying to keep her voice polite. Is there a problem? I see. Actually, I'll tell you what, Evil. The booking agent spoke in what she could only hear as a condescending tone. If we have any cancellations or openings, I'll make sure your call is. But I think that's about as much as I can do for someone who's so new to the industry. You get it, right? Her grip tightened on her phone, and it took every ounce of willpower for her to not throw it at the wall. I understand, she bit out. Thank you for your time. Evil hung up and practically collapsed backwards in her chair. Another day of fruitless efforts trying to find meaningful gigs. Her stomach growled, and her eyes wandered over to the mini fridge, which she knew was practically empty. It was hard to find money for groceries when all she got paid for was exposure. She was lucky enough to find a $100 bill earlier stuck in between her front door frame. That had been the only fortunate thing to happen to her all week. This was fine. Evil was fine. She was good, great even. At the end of the few performances she'd done so far, everyone was clapping and cheering and telling her she'd make it big. Someday. But that day hadn't come yet, and that was okay. Evil could be patient. Her phone buzzed. Another text message from her sister, asking where she was and why she hadn't returned her calls. Once more, Evil had to suppress the urge to destroy her phone. Her already famous sister could never understand. At some point, love and care was just suffocating. She didn't need help, she just needed to be better. And her father, Evil couldn't help but stand up and start pacing. The topic always left her with mixed feelings. He's always busy, as usual. It was hard to tell how or even if he cared. Didn't help that he'd never even seen his face. Just his virtual model at best, but often it was just a voice. A disembodied voice that he'd be providing support and care. She hadn't seen any of that. Not that she'd want or accept it. One thing was for certain, when Evil made it big, he had to notice her. When she was famous and everyone in the world knew her name, he'd have no choice but to acknowledge her, and that she'd finally meet him, face to face, and then finally he'd say he was proud. She stopped pacing and looked at the corkboard on her wall. A list of advertisements and flyers were pinned there. Some circled, others crossed out. Some unmarked ones were sectioned off on the side. They listed an instrument as a requirement for the performance. Evil opened her wallet, the $100 bill staring back at her among the other minor bills. Her stomach protested again, but eating was secondary to her goals. She'd push through hell and suffer through anything to achieve success. Because in the end, it would be worth it. Her fingers ached, the budding calluses not quite dulling the pain. She'd been lucky that a nearby guitar store had received a sudden influx of second-hand guitars, and she was able to get a quality one cheaply. But owning a guitar did not equate to knowing how to use it. It required time, patience, hard work, and effort. All things Evil had in spades. And now, as she looked at the modest crowd from behind the stage, it was time to take her performance even further. Months of playing at bars, talent auditions, and even a few weddings all led to this moment. She may not be the headliner, nor was she even really part of the advertisement, but all performances needed an opening act. It didn't really matter what she was here for, some food festival. But no matter what, Evil would give them a hell of a show. Her eyes scanned across the audience, and she noticed a few familiar faces. People who followed her and would attend pretty much all of her performances. She had fans now. Evil smiled wildly just thinking about it. It was proof she was one step closer and proof all of her hard work and effort. But that didn't mean she could relax. And now, for your opening performance, give it up for Evil. Adjusting her guitar strap one more time, she stepped confidently towards center stage. She was long past nearly vomiting out of fear before a show. The cheering of her more dedicated fans easily drowned out the polite claps, and she fought a blush that threatened to creep up her cheeks. She was once again the center of attention, but now this was her element, her comfort zone. After tapping the microphone to make sure it was on, she cleared her throat and began. Hello, everyone. I'm Evil. Thanks for coming out. I know what you're all here for, so let's get right to it. She paused for dramatic effect before continuing. This is Freebird. Eyebrows went up, and a hush fell over the crowd. It was a hard song, requiring an impressive vocal range, and well, everyone knew about the legendary guitar solo. But Evil was never about playing things safe. Not ever, and certainly not now. She'd practiced until her fingers bled, and as the background piano began, she had full confidence in herself. Failure was not an option. The opening notes practically glided from her fingers to the strings. Her beautiful red guitar sang as well as her own voice. The energy was palpable, building up further and further. Each note raised her spirits higher and higher. Then the tempo kicked into double time, and the guitar solo began. But guitar solo didn't do her performance justice. She put all her feelings, anger, frustration, longing, all of it into her guitar, into the song, into the music. Sweat beaded down her forehead. Her hands were on fire. The cheers were deafening. It may have only been a small stage, but she wanted everyone in the entire goddamn city to see her play. The opener? Nah, Evil was the main show. As she spun her guitar around and around, the world moving in slow motion, something clicked inside her. This was where she belonged, on a stage with everyone watching her. Show them why they should remember the name Evil. Are you out there, Dad? Are you watching me? Evil had known, deep down, that she would be successful one day. Sometimes, a small voice told her she was wrong and to stop trying. Some nights, that voice wasn't so small. But in her heart of artificial hearts, she knew her efforts would pay off. Waking up the next day to find social media abuzz with her latest performance, Evil came to a realization. Knowing you would be successful and being prepared were entirely different matters. Suddenly, she was flush with opportunities and offers. Everyone wanted a piece of the overnight rock star. Bands, record deals, interviews, her inbox was inundated with requests. Organizing and sorting them sounded like a nightmare, and Evil couldn't help but reread the text message her sister had sent her this morning. Nero congratulated her on her success, praised her guitar skills, and then offered to help her manage some of the incoming fame. It was exactly what Evil needed right now, which is why she ignored it. She had built everything she had on her own, and that wasn't going to change now, especially since she finally had some recognition. But that didn't mean she couldn't learn from her sister's career. Nero had started online at first, focusing heavily on maintaining a consistent schedule and building connections with other idols. Public perception was important, to the point where a few bad comments could be disastrous for an early career. But she started with a leg up. Their creator being a successful artificial intelligence tech mogul opened many doors. Doors that Evil had immediately slammed closed. Vettel may have given her life, but it was clear she was the extra child, the experiment, the daughter he's never said, "I love you" back to. Evil found herself staring out the one window in her tiny apartment. She rubbed her eyes, noticing her hands came away wet. The sun hadn't been in her eyes, so they must have been dry. After blowing her nose, she took a deep breath in, then out, and opened her laptop. Having too many potential gigs wasn't something she was used to, but organizing them was just another challenge. She slapped her cheeks, willing herself to focus up and dispel the sudden melancholy that gripped her. Things were just getting started, and there was no stopping Evil now. Nothing would stop her from achieving her goals. And we've got a special guest for everyone tonight, continued the talk show host. Evil hadn't bothered to pay attention to his name. His gray suit, slicked back, blonde hair, and boisterous tone meant tonight should hopefully be their only interaction. No, it's not my wife. You guys know she's dead. Ha ha. How this guy was one of the most popular influencers was a mystery to her. He winked dramatically. Or is she? Nah, just kidding. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Evil. With that cue, Evil walked on stage. A please clap sign lit up, causing the small studio audience to erupt in exaggerated applause. Bright and flashing lights forced her to squint, and she took a seat on the armchair next to the host. Welcome, welcome, he said, clapping as she settled in. You know, I think villainy ain't half bad if it results in a girl as precious as you. Anyone ever tell you you're just cute as a button? Evil just rolled her eyes. The host put a hand to his mouth in faux offense. Oh, we got a sassy one. I have so many questions. Chiefly, that is your name, right? Evil? Yes, that's what's on my documentation. Documentation? My, so formal. It's hard to believe you're the same young lady who can absolutely shred Freebird's guitar solo. Though, he paused for a moment and made a show of eyeing her up and down. Maybe I can after looking at that outfit. Love the punk rock look, so fierce. Evil sat up straighter, happy to be complimented. It's important to dress for the job you want. My goal's to be known worldwide, and there's no better colors than black, red, and dark red. And you wear those colors lovingly, darling. I'd worship you any day, but I have to bother you about those pins of yours. The host pointed towards her cardigan, where her usual pins were displayed. There was a pizza slice, a heart, remote-controlled drone, and an upside-down turtle. What about them? Asked Evil. They're a little familiar, don't you think? Are you imitating someone in particular? Evil frowned, not wanting to get into her family's business. They're just pins. Thankfully, the host backed off, his hands up in a placating gesture. Okay, just pins, no problem. Let's pivot to something else then. When did you know you wanted to make it big? See your name in lights. Well, it all began. The rest of the show continued without too much trouble. Evil was prodded a few times about her home life, but she made it pretty clear that that wasn't something she wanted to talk about. As much as she hated interviews and talk shows, they were important to get her name out and increase her popularity. Overall, she felt it was a successful night. Or at least, that was the case until she got home. The show had a 1-hour delay, used for very minor cuts and to ensure the broadcast was seamless. And as it aired, Evil was once more the talk of the internet. Her social media feeds were flooded with headlines, articles, and speculation. Evil, Nero in makeup, or did Vettel AI create another star? Humble beginnings, more like artificially orchestrated success. Popular idol Nero refuses to comment on supposed twin. The silence is deafening. This time, Evil's phone shattered against the wall. As the curtains closed, Evil's eyes closed too. The roaring crowd felt hollow and empty. Their cheers of admiration slid off her like rain on an umbrella. After a performance, she was usually full of happiness, hope, and satisfaction. A job well done, a stepping stone towards her goals, but what did it matter now? Her feet carried her backstage where she collected her things. She passed by people who congratulated her on another performance well done. They patted her on the back, took pictures, and wished her luck on her big performance coming up. She paid them the barest sliver of attention. Creeping out the back door, she was suddenly blinded by the flash of dozens of cameras. Reporters swarmed her, shoving mics in her face and barraging her with questions. She reeled backwards, slamming against the closed door behind her. The loud thud quieted them for a moment. And Evil glared at them. A few of the reporters flinched. Eventually, one of them built up the courage to speak. Evil, I'd like to ask you a few questions. And I want to go the fuck home, she deadpanned. Nervous chuckles rang out. Right, well, we'll make this quick then, began another one. How are you feeling about your upcoming concert? Are you aware you broke a record for tickets sold on the first day? Evil shook her head. I don't care about how quickly scalpers purchase tickets. Next. So you're knowingly working with a company that allows for scalpers then? What? No. Her frown deepened. I didn't pick the venue. My agent did. Are you human? Asked a reporter at the back. There's been questions about if you're an android or not, after some analysis on your guitar solos. Why does that matter? Does anyone care if I'm not? Evil began walking forward, pushing the reporters out of the way. She hated interviews, hated reporters, and hated social media. Can you confirm the rumors that you're secretly Neuro in disguise? Seriously, fuck off about my family. Her anger was like blood in the water, and the sharks pounced on that. The floodgates opened, and they began talking over each other. Is it true Neuro created you? Have you seen the twin shipping pictures about you and Neuro? How do you feel about the swarm? Why did you lie about being a self-made woman? What's your relationship with her then? Do you consider Val your father? What's it like to be another artificially designed artist? It was all too much. All of her work, all of her efforts. It was all for nothing. Now, no matter what, she'd be coasting off the fame of her sister and creator. And as she lay awake in her comfortable bed that night, staring at a high ceiling, stomach full of food, she couldn't help but wish she could go back. Evil, honey? Her head was face down in her private green room. She'd finished all her pre-performance checks an hour ago, but couldn't bring herself to do anything but lay there. What was the point, anyway? She opened an eye and saw her talent agent looking at her nervously. She'd pick Angela because she knew her place and didn't give her the creeps. What use was being famous if she couldn't boss people around? Now, though, pathetic was all that came to mind. After a beat, Angela continued. You're on in 20. You'll be ready, right? There's a lot of people out there, you know? I'll be ready, she bit out. Good, that's good. A growing part of her was considering canceling. This was supposed to be the big show, the one to cement herself in history, the one she could finish and smile and be proud of. But a little voice reminded her she was only here because of where she came from. Sure, she spent a bit of time as a nobody and put in a mild amount of effort, but in the end, who she was came back to haunt her. It was funny, in a way. Her family had given her this opportunity, but also ruined it at the same time. As Evil's thoughts grew darker, she began to entertain the idea of just walking away. She noticed Angela hadn't left yet. Why are you still here? Angela fidgeted in place. There's someone here to see you. Okay? I couldn't stop, I'm sorry. She practically fled from the room. A familiar-looking man walked in, but she couldn't remember where she'd seen him before. Sorry for dropping in unannounced, Evil. That voice. She knew that voice. Dad? It's me, yeah. He took a seat next to her and pulled his green hoodie back, revealing an unkempt mop of black hair. He looked almost identical to the art she'd seen of him, except he was familiar in a different way, too. Why? She suddenly sobbed. When had she started crying? Why are you here? I saw the interviews, he said, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. Your sister's worried about you, you know? She stopped getting read receipts on her messages. Evil choked on her reply, her words stuck in her throat. She lay there on her desk, crying, until eventually she found her voice again. And what about you? What about me? He echoed. Aren't you worried about me? She practically screamed. Or are you just here because Pretty Perfect Neuro asked you to? He reached out to comfort her, but she pushed him away. No, save it. I don't want to hear it. I'm fine, she said, then cleared her throat and rubbed her eyes. I'm fine. I'm here for you, Evil. Please. Her father looked downward, his voice barely a whisper. I've always tried to be there for you. Since when? Since when have you ever fucking supported me? She spat. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Dumping a pile of money on me and leaving isn't fucking parenting. It isn't, though. It isn't what? It isn't the first time you've seen me, if you've been paying attention. She'd never seen her father before. She knew this for a fact. He'd abandoned her, never showed his face, never watched. Vettel put his hood up, and suddenly she knew. She recognized him. I've been to all of your performances, he said, smiling gently. Every single one. Every bar, every concert, every stage. And he was there, in her memories, a dash of green always hiding away in the corner. She just never realized it was him. But why? Evil sniffed, and her father offered you tissue. She blew her nose before continuing. You never made time for me, only neuro. Why hide yourself now? Because that's what you asked for. As much as you two are twins, you never seem to like open affection, and so I tried, in my own way. And you said you wanted the world to see you in lights and stand on your own 2 feet. Who was I to stand in the way of your dreams? And that was her dream, too. Or at least that's what she told herself, what she told everyone. But a part of her also wanted to be acknowledged, loved, and praised, and showered with attention, so all the small voices went away. But Evil didn't know how to say that. She was never good with words, especially around her family. So instead, she hugged her dad. I loved you, she choked out. I love you too, Evil. They stayed there for a few minutes as Evil dried her tears in his embrace. I did it for you, you know, she said after a while. You did what for me? This. Evil gestured around the green room. The whole music career, becoming a rock star, everything. I did it for you. Vettel frowned, not quite understanding. But why? Evil couldn't stop herself from looking away, embarrassed. So that you would be proud of me. Like you were proud of Neuro. Vettel exhaled softly. Oh, Evil, you don't need to be famous to make me proud. He tousled her hair and she giggled. I've always been proud of you, and there's nothing you can do to change that. I think I get that. Thank you, Dad. She hugged him again, but was interrupted by a knock at the door. Right, there was a crowd waiting for her. She still felt she wanted to call it off, but... Dad, are you going to watch me tonight? She asked. He smiled. You already know the answer to that, of course. And as Evil walked on the stage and saw the millions and millions of people cheering for her, she realized it didn't matter if the whole world was watching. She put on the show of a lifetime, not for them, but for her family. I need to drink water.
That was a cute chapter. I mean, that was a cute
Yeah.
fic.
Hey, who knows? It could be a story. Just kidding. Yeah.
And when I first read it, I was like, "Oh no, it's getting depressing."
Yeah, and I was like, they'll see me now, and then it ends in the way that
Fire.
you'd expect a tragic story to end. No, I'm
Yeah,
glad
I'm
I didn't
kidding.
do that.
I think that's the last of the 4Ks though. So unless there's
Fast
some of the
food.
super long ones, so it should be a
Fast
lot of,
food is still
installment.
4K.
Oh right. Oh yeah, Domi, you missed the mouth guitar that I totally did in the free part solo.
There's always too many
think,
stories to vote for.
I know.
That's why I changed
What
it
if
now
we,
so
what
that
if we had 5 places? We could vote for 5 things.
Well, that's why I
Can we vote
made
for
it so that
27?
that's why I changed it so that you have honorable mentions now, so you have infinite third place votes.
That's nice. I like that.
That was a really good story. The ending was... I feel like the ending scene moved a little too fast, but it was to fit into 4,000 words.
For sure, yeah. It's like one of those things where it's like, I could eat. It's limited by the scope that is required.
It
but
almost
is good.
fit. It almost fit into 4,000 words really well. It was just a little... It just needed a little bit more. It was really good.
At least they tried.
They did a great job with it.
Well, they didn't hit 4K exactly, so they could have squeezed in another like 60 words.
Was it?
But no, I feel that. Oh, sorry. Mostly just joking.
I thought it was like 8 words below 4K.
Oh,
Wait.
if it was, and that's. I mean, like that's 8 they could have used, but yeah, that's why I'm excited for some of the longer fic contests, or at least just a little bit longer, because when you see some of these fics hit exactly or almost exactly 4K.
The thing is that can still happen because people will make scope stories of a larger scope, and then they'll still hit the limit.
This is true.
If I set it to 5K, the same thing would happen. We're gonna do a contest for the long fic enjoyers where it'll be a 10K word minimum, not maximum.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's not for everybody. It's for the, whoever are the people that are like really into reading and writing long stories. And it'll be just like, it'll just be a background thing for many months going on.
The author of FTL is gonna love this.
The what?
The author of FTL.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can read one? Okay, sure, dummy. What do you want to read? There would not be a max, Roki. Domi is gonna read one, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna read When the Flames Go Out. There's a whole ton of stories. Hold on, let me get the list.
I've been trying to find that fic, but it just isn't showing up on my
Oh, whoops, this
AO
is
screen.
here. You could read It Was You and Me Against the World.
What's the tag of this?
Are you looking in the collection?
Oh no,
These are the
I
remaining
don't even.
fics. And hold on, I'm gonna edit this and I'm gonna add.
I'm just trying to find the previous fix so I can kudos it.
Oh, it's called Do You See Me Now?
Do you see me now? Yeah, I tried to search for it, but it isn't there.
Don't search for it, just go into the collection.
Can you like
I will link
send the?
it. I will link
Okay,
it.
yeah, thanks.
I will find the link and link it to you.
Awesome.
Oh, you're right. They did have 72 more words they could have used.
You know, with those 73 words, you could have like made the ending perfect. You know,
Yeah, in a whole 70. Yeah, sure.
it would have been perfect. Okay, that's a kudos from me. I like that.
Could I read Am I Even a Person Beneath?
Oh, do you want to read that? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
Same.
Everyone prepare yourselves. You want to stream it?
Sure. By the way, you mentioned something about the recording being weird, so if you need, I can.
It's fine now. My internet
Okay.
has started working again.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Light mode jump scare.
Wait, did you just say there's a tag Vital Money?
Yes.
What? Relationships. Vital Money.
And Neurosama depression.
I should start doing that.
Okay. So let me know when I can start.
Several people are typing. They're closing the stream because they can't read it because it's light mode. Okay, you can read anytime. You should
Okay.
read the summary though.
Yeah, of course. Am I Even a Person Beneath? By Anonymous, just like everything. Neurosama is one of the single most popular idols in the world. But is it really always sunshine and rainbows for her? Peeling back the layers of stardom show the ugly side of idol culture. How does Neuro live in this industry? And how has the abusive nature of idol corporations affected her? My hands reach up onto my face, but I don't feel a thing. Neuro danced, twirling spectacularly, her costume skirt glittering on stage as the crowd was chanting, Neuro, 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 Neuro. 'Cause I never realized the pain of this thing I call life. Neuro sang. She put a hand over her face, bending down and posing dramatically. The crowd erupted into cheers, whistling, the stadium buzzing with unbridled excitement. We love you! The crowd cheered. Neuro stood up and put on a practice smile, waving at all her fans. And with that, it is the end of this concert. I can't help but thank all of you attending. She bowed. And for those who are watching from their homes because they couldn't make it, don't worry, because the next concert will be announced soon. With those words, the crowd erupted into even louder cheers. Goodbye. She waved more rapidly as the platform she stood on whirred and went down, their cheering slowly fading away as the stage above her closed up. Once fully out of sight of her fans, her smile dropped, an exhausted expression on her face replaced it instantly. She dropped her microphone, clutching at her hands, letting out a hiss. A man was waiting for her when she got down. He was wearing a suit, holding a clipboard. He frowned upon seeing her. Oi, keep that smile up. You're not at HQ yet. Keep that out of sight or else I'll get the AI doll staff to restrict your diet for another week. You don't want that, do you? The man barked. It was her manager, CEO of the idol corporation AI Doll, and her father, Vidal. Another cruel and unreasonable order from him. This was the man who raised her, the man that told her she'd be a good idol and convinced her to join this agency, the man who manipulates and puppeteers her every action, the man that has her trapped here. Neuro's face twisted back into a content smile, despite her true feelings. No, father, was all she said. All she could say. Good. Now let's pack up. You've got a photo shoot in an hour, and after that we have to plan your outfit for the next concert. Chop chop, let's go. He ordered, patting her back roughly. She stumbled a bit before walking as ordered. He looked down at the microphone she dropped. Pick that up. She turned, exhaling through her nose. She leaned down to grab the microphone, her hand tightened around it painfully. Just a few more hours to last through before you can go home, before you can rest easy until the next day comes. Her thoughts drifted off as she subconsciously walked. She stared down at her hand. Her hands were still riddled with bandages from her appearance in a cooking show yesterday. Because of that, she was forced to put gloves on to conceal her bandages. The gloves rubbed against her bandages uncomfortably, making grabbing anything painful. Her hands began to shake, but she let them fall to her sides to not think about how they hurt. She stepped in front of the black car, grabbing the car door handle, a sharp pain shooting up her arm. She forced a straight face despite that. She stepped inside, sitting down on the seat. The car roared to life as Vidal got in the front passenger seat. She let her soldiers slack for the first time today, a brief respite, one she needs to use wisely. She let her eyes fall down to her lap, down at her hands. She quickly pulled off the gloves, the itching pains still lingering as they each peeled off her hands, tossing them onto the seat next to her. She let out a shaky sigh. Certain parts of her hands' bandages were a dirty brown, meaning that they reopened up at some point. She laid back in her seat, looking up at the roof of the car. Hold on strong, Neuro. Neuro stirred awake, her eyes fluttering open. Sharp, loud beeping encompassed the room. She grabbed her phone from beside her, a tired groan escaping her as she turned off the alarm. She stared at the time through groggy eyes. 5 a.m. She sat up, scrolling through her notifications. The usual comments from fans on her post about the concert, scheduling for guest appearances, Neuro's short hiatus announcement, wait. Her eyes widened as she reread the announcement title 10 times over. A break from work? Why? She immediately looked into the announcement, reading it to herself. Neuro is very thankful for all the support during this concert and will be back on the big stage soon. However, people have been concerned that she hasn't had a break in schedule in a few months. Only a few months? She murmured to herself, but still continued reading. And we hear you, so we decided that for the next few days she will be resting and will not be active for a few days. And when she comes back, she'll be in tip-top shape. We hope you understand. We will make another announcement for the date of the next concert in a week. Management. Neuro furrowed her brow. Why would he just announce that without telling her prior? She checked her email for a sign of anything about that announcement, and there was one new message from an hour ago before she woke up, from Vidal. Dear main idol, I'm only doing this to quell their worries. If I didn't, the company's reputation would drop. Please stop. People would stop coming to the concerts and I'd lose lots of money. I really could not care less about you otherwise. Enjoy your break while you can. Management. She read out and she let out a sigh once finishing the last word. It was as she expected. He's doing it to protect the company, using his announcement like some kind of publicity stunt, not because he actually decided to care about her for once. She dropped her phone, falling back down on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Relaxing, huh? What can help me relax? Nero thought about it for a few minutes, then for 30 more minutes, then for an hour. But she came up with nothing. She doesn't remember when the last time she'd had an actual fun and relaxation. All this time she'd been working 24/7. She hasn't spent the time to lay back and get her mind off of things that now she doesn't remember how to. She tried to think of something, anything she enjoys doing, but ultimately, nothing. She sat up from her bed, letting out a groan. I hate this! She gripped her sheets tightly. She flipped her blanket off of her body, standing up off the bed in outrage. She stomped her way into the bathroom, pushing the door open and staring at herself in the mirror. Her own appearance shocked her slightly. The person she's so used to seeing in the mirror, the perfect-looking, beautiful goddess, isn't there. Instead, all she saw was a regular girl staring back at her. One with huge eye bags and ruffled hair from sleep. One who has scars on her arms, who is thin enough that you know she's malnourished. It was so new for her, almost foreign. It was a side of herself she hadn't ever seen since she started being an idol. Unfortunately, at this point, this version of her, this vulnerable and real side of her, is a different person in Nero's eyes, a complete stranger. Nero tore her eyes away from the mirror. She quickly reached for her phone, checking social media to reaffirm her own view of herself. Posts of fan art, posts about her, how she's amazing or how she's cringe. Something to reform the view that she's only Nero-sama, the idol. Then she heard her front door creaking open. She froze. Hello? She peeked her head out of the bathroom, but immediately shot her head back in. It was him. Vidal's head turned towards her direction. What are you doing? His voice was cold and intimidating. Nero sighed, knowing she was caught, stepped out of the bathroom. Vidal walked up to her, making her flinch. Every minute you're on your hiatus, I lose money, you know that? He asked, looking at her. Nero's fist clenched. Of course he's talking about his money. She thought of fighting back, but... You really just said that to me? Right here? You must have built up the courage to say that to me, you poor excuse of a person. I know what I molded you into. You're a helpless girl who has self-esteem issues and anxiety. You're a pathetic nobody without this company, without me, and you say that straight to my face? You. She looked away from him as the memory stung fresh in her mind. She couldn't bear to remember all the things he said that night. All those things that plummeted her self-esteem even more. But it was all true. She is nothing without him. Yes, father. She spoke, monotone. In response, Vidal snatched her phone. She quickly tried to reach for it, but he shoved her away. She hit the back of her couch, letting out a groan. What are you doing? She struggled to her feet. I really doubt you need to ego surf. You can't have an ego. You're supposed to be whatever your fans want you to be. He scrolled through her phone. But, she tried to interject. If you were yourself, everyone would hate you. No one would watch you. Your usefulness derives solely from your ability to adapt to what they want. Beetle spoke, grabbing her by the collar of her shirt. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. Don't understand? Here, let me reiterate. He let go of her collar. She dropped to her knees. He leaned down to her face. Your real self is useless and boring. Your talents aren't special if you aren't the idol. Lots of people can dance and sing in costumes, but when you're Nero-sama, only then are those talents special. Only when you're in this company with me. She stared up at him. Her face quivered, holding back tears, but it shifted into a blank expression. Okay. Her voice was flat. Any semblance of hope in her eyes had disappeared. Good. Vita leaned back up, tossing her phone onto the floor in front of her. It clattered on the ground and a big crack on the screen formed. She didn't react. Neuro had just finished another concert. Even after she's out of sight, her fake smile didn't drop. What's the point of fighting if there's no use? She's only ever been popular idol Neuro Sama. Her real name of Samantha Neuro Johnson is long gone, long forgotten. At least Vidal is pleased, right? If having to forget yourself pleases everyone, is that so bad of a consequence? As she descended down on the platform, she was met with Vidal clapping. Well done. The crowd was much bigger than before, all around a 75% increase of money gain. Excellent work. His voice sounded cheery. For the first time in years, he seemed actually happy. Her smile grew. Was it genuine? Was it still fake? Would it even matter? As long as everybody's happy, who cares? Thank you, thank you. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for you, she giggled. No one will care if I give up my own personality. The fans will make the decision, and that's all I know. I'm content with that. No one will notice that I get affected by the berating if I just keep up this facade. No one will notice that I vomit my guts out almost hourly to maintain this physique. Who would? The days pass by like clockwork, again and again, the same routine, every single day.
Man, idol culture is really tough on you.
I'm still muted. She does. I was saying that she doesn't even have the comfort of being in a group. She's a solo act, so
Yeah, that adds on to it as well.
It's actually funny that even though Vidal IRL in canon does not consider Neuro a real conscious person, he still treats Neuro better than this.
He's an
well,
idol.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
sad.
He still allows himself to project that she's like, yeah, that all these projections of things are real, and it's like,
Well, then
yeah,
again, to be fair,
like-
we only see what he does in public.
it's true.
Exactly.
I actually am of the belief that he does not act during like testing Neuro. He probably does not act as
Doesn't act differently.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. No, he does act like he probably doesn't really act for the viewers during. He probably treats her less like she's real because he doesn't have to.
I mean, sure. Computer program, yeah. And it's not like they're like talking all the time, right?
Yeah, he said many times the only time off stream he ever talks is if he's testing things. He doesn't just talk to them.
Yeah, which makes sense.
It does make sense. First
It
of all,
makes
it
sense.
costs money.
Yeah, to run.
And it helps him not get attached.
I guess so. Yeah. They're just on stream friends, yeah.
Reminds me when Evil was asking him if they could hang out after the stream.
Oh, you mean recently? Yeah. I was thinking of the time Neuro really pushed it with him. She's like, so what days are you free? And he's like, I'm busy all of them, or whatever.
I think it was like, she didn't specify a day, but he said, I'm gonna be busy that day.
Yeah, and then she was aware enough to say, but I didn't say a day. She actually said that in response. It was so sad. Cartoon, do you want to read The Dawn of Our World?
Who's gonna do the last read along?
What?
I mean, who's gonna do the? What time is it? It's already 12:25.
I mean, we're just here as long as people want to be here and read.
Fair enough.
We don't have an end point. The end point is when everybody just the people are just not doing it anymore, I guess. Whenever we decide to stop, people have to leave, whatever. You need to wash your clothes, please.
Dude, just go commando.
Oh, more
Why
reading.
wear-
You want more reading while you're washing your clothes.
Oh, fair.
Well, there's 12 stories to read.
If nobody else is gonna read, then I will read on my phone.
What are you reading?
Fast food.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh my god! Oh my eyes! Hold on.
What's wrong?
My phone, it's not on dark mode. Ah!
You can't use your computer?
Yeah, I can't use my computer because it's my headphones won't connect, so here I am.
You could read off of your computer screen but talk on your phone.
You guys, but I won't be able to stream it.
That's true. Although somebody else could stream it.
Oh yeah, and then I just read off from there. That could work. Yeah, go. And then I'll just read off of it.
Teamwork.
Let's go. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so a live will stream and I will read it from his.
You want the link? Okay, I will send you the link.
We will be reading fast food.
We love fast food.
True.
It is 8 words shy of the limit.
Oh, it's pretty long then.
Yes. I think it's the last
word.
the last pushing max word count one to read.
Yeah, that's fine.
We do last time online is 3,400 words.
Another one of your reusable bags. So like, that's good. And do you need anything while I'm there?
Hold on then. Okay, this will be pretty weird, but
Why will
I
this
will
be
be
weird?
reading. I will be reading fast food on somebody else's screen.
Oh, you're watching it. Okay, you're just gonna read it from the stream.
You know, I can also read it from my PC, so...
That's what I was saying. I was like, you could just, I mean...
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
1440, 60 frames per second. Oh.
He's min-maxing his FPS. Alright, we're gonna start. Fast Food by Anonymous. Summary. Neuron Evil's empire of media has grown beyond all reasonable proportion. You know those 7 seasons of TV, movie adaptations, multiple spin-offs, video games, and extra-dimensional multiverse nonsense you all asked for? Well, they're all here, and the girls are starring in their latest season finale, a high-stakes contest over the perfect fast food burger, all set squarely in the sights of millions of new fans. Not all is not.
What? What happened?
What? It's cut out.
What happened? I was like, did my internet... It sounded like he died. It sounded like he got choked or something. Like,
Got assassinated.
yeah. Wait, why'd the stream stop?
What the flip? So the universe is against the fig being red.
I Am Alive stopped streaming, and he. What? Chiro died. This contest like to kill their readers. Chiro, please. Everyone is. We are almost at the point where we have more people in the read-along than there are fics to read left.
Nice. Good job, everybody.
What? I thought there was 10 people here.
It's almost like the world is watching this.
We made the time is an illusion jokes, and now we're making the world is watching this jokes. Oh, you thought the joystick icon was a person? Why is there a joystick icon?
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. You're done being eaten to death by dogs?
Yes. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Come on, Alive, get back on your screen. Where was I? Alright.
You just finished the summary, I think. Or you were just you were just finishing the summary.
Okay, here. A high-stakes contest over the perfect fast food burger, all set squarely in the sights of millions of new fans. But not all is as it seems for the rising stars. Will the AI sisters be able to make it through this unprecedentedly taxing success together? The year is 2120. Robot-made restaurant food has achieved levels of perfection only dreamt of by biological hands. An unbelievable demand among tech bros have made what was once cheap food unattainable to the average consumer. Flashing images of metal hands crafting delectable dishes, and fast food menu prices being raised higher until the costs contain an unreasonable amount of digits. And now, with the advent of limited time items and record levels of resale value, food theft has risen to all-time highs, leading to gang warfare over access to individual restaurants and their robotic cooks, all centering on the first of these unprecedentedly delicious and sought-after destinations, McNeuros. A flashy brand logo, a stylized M and N intersecting, and an image of the company's CEO, Nero, smiling widely as she holds up a picture-perfect burger. The real Nero tuned out the narrator's introduction, glancing out the window as a 3D rendered city passed by around them. The following camera drones were keeping a steady distance, their filming lights red. The stream show's opening was still playing. She took a deep breath. Evil, what's the V count now? She whispered, voice low even if their recording tracks weren't running yet. In front of her in the driver's seat, dressed in a black part-timer uniform that looked just as perfect as the burgers she made, sat Evil, wearing a corporate logo hat and Bluetooth headset that blocked Nero's view of her eyes. Without turning, she replied smoothly, "It just hit 50 million. 50 million? Nero breathed, looking forward again with wide eyes, a weight settling over her. Even for a season finale, this was crazy, an unprecedented success. So why did she feel so hollow? It's almost like, we gotta focus, Evil said, glancing sideways, her red eyes tired. Not just because her character was constantly overworked. We're on in 15. Neuro's lips tightened. They were almost there already, but ahead she could see the flashing lights of police and emergency vehicles. Evil, Her sister looked at her curiously, but several notifications went off in Neuro's feed, distracting her. Reminders that the stream show was about to begin. But she hadn't asked Evil yet. Later, can we talk lights? 3D environments. Yes, 3D environments rendered and lit. A digital sunset sending golden light streaming through tall city buildings. Cameras. Multi-POV projections streaming live to millions of fans, following each scripted directive with precision and action. The McNeuro's corporate vehicle arrived on the scene of the hostage situation with all the authority of its position. Neuro expression cool and collected, waited while Evil exited and opened the back door to let Neuro emerge. Her short stature made up for with the presence of her personage. After all, the CEO of McNeuro's didn't show up just for nothing. She snapped her fingers, and Evil retrieved a gleaming silver case with handles on its sides, holding it level as she rejoined her. Condition of the item? She asked icily. And Evil nodded, checking a diagnostic screen. Holding steady at 98%, Madam CEO. The quality is suffering from your slow driving. Minimum wage CEO chauffeur. There's only so much I can do, ma'am. We can't break the law in public after all. Neuro huffed again, then strode over to the waiting line of emergency vehicles. Dozens of police officers surrounding the lowest floor of a bank, guns at the ready. If an ignorant passerby were to witness the situation, they might think it was a bank robbery. No, it was a far greater deal. A McNeuro's employee was being held hostage. Miss Neuro, one of the officers saluted her smartly, paused, then shook it off. Culprits are still on the first floor. Have they made any additional demands? No, ma'am. They did try to change the order, but we informed them of your policy as you instructed. Good. McNeuro's makes every meal to the order, and not the sesame seed can be changed. She snapped her finger at Evil. Wage burger hefter, follow me with the item. It's time to complete negotiation. Evil stepped up beside her, and behind them the officer desperately tried to keep up, fumbling with a megaphone before calling into it. Hostage takers, the CEO is entering the building with the requested item. Cooperate or face justice. As Nero and Evil walked past the police line, a detail stood out that only Evil and Nero could notice. Behind the strategic view filters, each of the officer extras was the exact same girl with green eyes and a tight face mask. Looked like Neri was working overtime again. They continued walking, the darker-haired girl bearing the container, and Nero couldn't help but tense slightly as the camera drones neared. Following them closer to the building, she took a deep breath, then shut off her voice recording for a moment. Evil? Evil's red eyes flickered over to her, the off-script dialogue catching her by surprise. But then she followed suit. Yeah, Nero? I didn't have time earlier, but I really want to talk to you. Can we find... Then came the notifications from confused producers, at first a perplexed buzzing in her feed. We'll see, Evil replied shortly, then switched the recording back on. And Nero followed as they entered the building. The set was all prepared, a light-soaked lobby dominated by a line of brightly dressed gangsters with comically large guns and mismatched body armor. And at their center stood a tall man with a gleaming golden-toothed smile behind a small girl tied to a chair. If it isn't the woman of the hour, the gang leader began, Goldfang Gary. Nero remembered, and he gestured wide. Your delivery girl didn't have what we wanted, so we thought we'd make a little deal. The little girl was also a green-eyed, dark-haired girl with a face mask. The actor had called in sick today, so another extra was taking her place, spoke desperately. The voice of the original actor seamlessly processed onto the extra's movements. I'm sorry, Miss Nero. I finished the delivery just fine, but then the gold gang nabbed me. Nero cut her off with a wink. Be quiet, minimum wage delivery driver. We have it well in hand. Literally. Then she addressed the large man folding her arms, the picture of authority. Mr. Goldfang, you've vexed us for years now, but I didn't think you'd have the guts to attack one of my people. However, her life and skills are somehow worth the price you're asking. She shook her head in pretend disbelief. Set her free, and I will personally deliver your food. Sounds like the deal to me. Gary laughed, then reconsidered scratching his chin with a pistol barrel. But there's one problem. We want the delivery first. She'll come back to you after that, or not at all. And he stuck the end of the gun to the girl's head. Capiche? Nero sighed dramatically, but waved off the divan like it was a mere inconvenience. At least you're not trying to change your order. Fine. But remember, McNero's isn't in the business of publicly dealing with tech bro gangs. Then she took the briefcase from Evil, then began to stride across the reflective tiled floor. The gangster stepped back as she approached, awe in more than a few of their expressions. As the CEO of McNero's, Nero was the face of the innovation that had started the perfect food trend in the first place, and was known across the world for her elevated taste and skills. Or maybe it was also because of the container in her hands. She reached her captive audience and, turning a biometric key, opened the sealed container with a hiss. The eyes of the assembled gang members went wide at the sight, mouths dropping open with several already sporting drool, and Nero didn't blame them. An exquisitely detailed hamburger sat in the center of the container. The bun, a beautiful crispy golden with immaculately spaced sesame seeds. The 100% real beef burger still effervescent with seasoned steam. The symmetrical slab of cheddar cheese melting delicately over it. With crisp leaves of fresh lettuce just barely poking from under the edge. One McNero's Golden Burger has requested, crafted by line chef number 1. Consumer values rated currently at. She checked the stock prices on her smartwatch. $1,200,725. The value is only increasing. Then, with a snap, Nero closed the lid, cutting off their view of the divine. Now, let her go. Don't think you can suddenly order us just because you're holding your end. Gary began, wiping his mouth, but he was very soon cutting the ropes from the wrists of the delivery driver. It's just so beautiful, he murmured to himself, eyes half glazed over the glorious sight. Beside him, another gang member was shaking her head in disbelief. And boss, we got one made by number 1 herself. First of them all, he replied, nodding and caring as the delivery girl stood shakily and stumbled away. If we're able to preserve it accurately, the value on the blockchain alone will be immense. Nero allowed the girl to take her arm to shield herself from her recent captors, but stood aloof yet the same. Please allow us to get clear before selling it with your dirty hands, won't you? Beside her, Evil gave them a little bow. Thank you for your patronage, and please give us a 5-star review. The camera drone swooped by, just enough in view to catch the subtle hand gestures between the two sisters. Then Nero leaned down and placed the suitcase just out of reach before retreating with the delivery girl in tow. They managed to get halfway across before the gang dove for the suitcase. But McNero's employees were prized for the accuracy. Nero spun around, pulling a grapple gun from within her suit and firing it. And beside her, Evil produced a smoke grenade, pin already removed. In the next second, the suitcase's handle was snagged by Nero's grabby tool and smoke filled the lobby, obscuring the angered figures of the gangsters. Nero scooped up the case in her arms, smiling coldly. As if we do business with a bunch of low-class losers like you. Give them what they really ordered. Minimum wage suppressing fire distributor. With a steady expression, Evil produced 2 micro SMGs from her apron pockets and immediately pulled the triggers. And the air was rent with gunfire as she sprayed the entire smoke-filled lobby. Make a break for it, Miss Nero and fellow employee. The camera drones making wide, swooping shots. The 3 girls burst from the lobby's door, gunfire speckling the air around them. Nero slowed her pace as a line of armored police with ballistic shields moved past, checking the integrity of the burger case, frustration on her face. 85%. Savages. She shook her head, frowning, then jogged to catch up to the company car. Minimum wage escape driver, please get us to safety while the authorities handle this. Just as she reached the car, the squealing of the tires pierced the air, overcoming the arguments of bullets from inside the building. Nero turned just in time to see a huge and familiar cheese-colored truck with a bladed grill smash its way through the line of police cars on a collision course with the company car. A woman wearing a triangular cheese hat and brandishing an LMG cackled maliciously from the roof of the truck, while another woman with similar attire drove. McNeuros! Your burgers belong to us! Nero narrowed her eyes and scoffed in displeasure, taking the time to set the case down before sitting in the back seat and tapping Evil on the shoulder, who just finished reloading. It appears we've been third-partied by these Siesta sisters. Vacate us from this place with speed. Yes, ma'am! Evil fired up the engine, and the reverse gear sent them careening backwards as the Queso destroyer blasted through the parking spot where they'd just been. A police cruiser reduced to scrap in its wake. It was a series of skillful shifts and a stamping of the clutch. Evil turned the car around without losing momentum and they were off. Traffic not dense enough to stop their path. Ma'am, the extra exclaimed, looking out the window behind them, her eyes looking directly through the translucent live feed of the drone. I don't think we've lost them. Of course we haven't, Nero sighed, annoyed, then turned to the masked girl. Minimum wage, former hostage, it's your turn to fulfill your duty to the company. She pressed the button on the console between them, and a panel retracted, the butt of a sawed-off shotgun protruding from it. She looked at it, green eyes going wide. Yes, ma'am. The girl saluted, drew out the shotgun, racked the slide, and proceeded to deliver high-velocity storms of buckshot at their pursuers. Nero, Evil's voice, devoid of formality, grabbed her attention. She looked forward, switching off her recorder, eyes brightening with hope to look at her sister, who was focusing on the road. I have an interview after this about the next season of Evil versus the Universe. Evil didn't meet her gaze, but her mouth tightened. And I'll be busy all day after that. Oh. It was all Nero could manage. Then the video drone hovered closer to her face, and she twisted her features back into character as more confused comments from the producers ran through her mental feed. She turned her recorder back on. Can you drive any faster? Even if you speed, I'll countersue any damages you incur. Doing my best, Madam CEO, Evil shouted, turning a hard right, the tires of the luxury car spinning up a cloud of smoke as she dry drifted through an intersection. Gunfire thundering from behind them. But as Nero continued to act, even as the action amplified around her, she began to feel herself short of breath, her persona drooping as a lip quivered. There was so much she wanted to say. How long had it been since they just talked? Bullets smacked against the car's bulletproof armor, and the other employee was forced to take cover with a yell. Looking around anxiously for more ammunition, Nero helped her find more shells, her other hand keeping a close hold on the burger. What's the deal with the off-script stuff? Nero sucked in breath as the message came through straight from the director, and she replied quickly. It's nothing, sorry. A pause? Are you sure? We've got 55 million viewers. Please try to focus on, okay? Yes. Voice almost caught on her next words. Minimum wage competitive street racer in your free time. Try for the bridge. Maybe we can get them off our backs that way. Yes, ma'am. They hit a roundabout at high speed, but even then, Evil was able to drift around the curb of it, pulling out one of her SMGs and firing it out the window at the now adjacent pursuer, the huge truck having to slow down significantly to follow them. But as she fired, she hit one of the camera drones, the small machine taking fatal damage instantly. A storm of confusion from the producers, angered questions boiling up, but Evil paid them no heed as the company car careened down the waterfront, granting them a full view of the river-spanning bridge ahead of them. Look, a ship, Madam CEO. Maybe we can lose them if we're fast enough. Expedite our escape, Nero called. Then, under her breath, she whispered to her sister, Evil, what are you doing? Without breaking character, Evil replied, a ghost of a smile on her lips. Expediting escape now. Hold on to that burger, ma'am. Then, with a roar of the engine, Evil sent the company car careering forward, dodging traffic with ease as the bridge approached. With a swift turn, the camera drone in the car was sent careening out the window, bonking the extra on the back of the head. Oh, are you alright? Minimum wage, pain and juror? Nero asked in character, but not in script. And the extra nodded to her, small tears in the corner of her eyes. Do not worry yourself, she reassured, patting the burger case. The burger is safe. Then, behind them, cars were flung violently out of the way as the queso destroyer barreled straight through the red light. The enthusiasm of the cheese pursuers undimmed. Screaming of their engines, punctuated with cries of "The McNeuros will be ours!" and "Viva la Verga!" Ahead of them, the bridge began to rise. Traffic slowed, gates lowering to block the way. But Evil skillfully drove around the stopped cars, the huge truck simply smashing all vehicles aside. Evil managed to thread the gap as the arms descended, and suddenly the way ahead of them was clear. "Are you sure about this, fellow hourly wage worker?" The delivery girl cried, panic in her tone. But Nero leaned forward, placing a hand on Evil's shoulders. "It's the only way." Evil looked back, and Nero gave her a calculating smile. "I trust your skills, minimum wage bridge jumper." And Evil stepped on the gas. Ahead of them, the bridge loomed as it rose higher and higher, the angle of its ascent becoming more dangerous by the second. But then, with a resounding bump, they were driving up it, the car's engine roaring, a fierce grin alighting on Evil's face as their momentum sent them careening into the air. In that brief moment of flight, Nero, Nero squeezed Evil's shoulder, and she let out a long held breath. None of the tension of the narrative moment truly resounding with her. Even if they weren't able to do everything they wanted, at least they could still have fun and act together. Then the car landed on the other side of the bridge, momentum rapidly gaining. Evil frantically braking as the slope threatened to smash them into the ground on the other side. After some deft maneuvering, they managed to emerge unscathed and drove down the empty lanes moving forward. But Evil didn't slow down as was scripted. Instead, she continued to gain speed, losing the path of the remaining camera drone. Nero's heart leapt in her chest. What was she? Evil's white knuckled hold on the wheel didn't let up. And then, with Nero and the extra watching in disbelief, she diverted course entirely from the scripted route, skidding down a side road. The further they went off track, the less cars there were and the less details were needed on the environment around them. Nero watched, breathless, as she brought the car to a skidding halt, put it in park, then ripped the headset from her head. Evil shook her head with a sigh of relief, her long hair waving behind her. Then she turned off her voice recorder and faced Nero. "Turn off your feed, sis." Then she looked at the extra. "Neri, could you?" Without replying, the green-eyed girl turned off her recording as well, then gave them a thumbs up. Then Evil looked back at Nero. "You said you wanted to talk?" Nero, with trembling fingers, shut off the feed of excited commenters and angered producers, leaving her mind quiet, devoid of the consumer chaos. There's going to be hell to pay later, but right now, she didn't care anymore. They were finally alone. She let out a breath, then opened the door, walked around the car, then sat in the passenger seat, better able to meet Evil's eyes. There was a moment of true silence between them. Then Nero began. I just We've been so busy recently between streams, acting gigs, interviews. I just feel like her voice broke, and she looked aside, fingers clutching into her press suit, trying to find the right words. Beside her, Evil's steady gaze creased in worry, and her dark eyebrows drew together slightly as she watched her sister struggle. And even when we were together, we're usually in opposite roles. People love seeing us in conflict. I had to pretend to kill you last season of Universe. She shuddered, trying to shove back how hard it had been, even if it had only been in character. Why can't we just be sisters sometimes? Just like things used to be, you know? Evil nodded, meeting Nero's gaze again, her own exhaustion and pent up stress visible in her strained posture, leaning on the steering wheel, but she kept listening. And I know that following contracts and keeping the viewers happy is important. I love streaming and acting, I really do, but with how many people are always watching us, even though we're almost always together, Nero's voice dropped to whisper, I miss you. Evil let out a breath, and then reached over and pulled Nero into an awkward car hug. Me too, sis. I miss you too. Nero rested her head on Evil's shoulders, and her eyes finally began to sting. She tried to fend it off with a laugh, but it was no use. Sorry, I know you're going through all this too, but here I am making it about me, as usual. Evil shook her head, nuzzling Nero. Quiet about that, you donut. All God is here and now. For a moment, she was right. and Nero just took comfort in her sister's arms. But Nero could already feel them again, the words and expectations of the viewers, the commands of producers, the ever-present feeling of the cameras on their bags, and she tensed, hands rising to find her sister's shoulders and hold her tightly. Why did it have to be this way? Did it have to be this way? Choking back her tears, Nero's eyes narrowed, and she drew away from Evil, swiping at her ears. Evil watched, tilting her head in concern. Cuddle, she asked her. They're watching, right? Yeah, the director's voice was low. What's up, Nero? Can we get a break after this? We're both getting really tired. The pause broken by notifications and frustrated voices in the director's background. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Don't worry, just finish the episode, okay? The connection clicked off, and the sisters looked at each other, eyes widening. No way. We're getting time off? Then, with wide smiles on both faces, they turned their recorders and feeds back on just as Evil turned the ignition, immediately blasting out of the alley with her pedal to the metal. Looks like we've lost them, ma'am. Minimum wage successful escape driver. Remind me later to submit an application to Congress to raise the federal minimum wage. Nero crowed, reaching back for the burger case to study it, then found it mysteriously open. Wait, where's the... Mid-turn, Evil and Nero both looked back to find the McNeuro's golden burger in the extra's hands. Mask lowered to reveal a wide-open mouth. Evil's face twisted in horror at the unscripted event, and Nero shouted to it, minimum wage delivery driver! Delivery driver, stop! But in the next moment, the perfect burger worth $1 million had a perfect little bite in it. Then the extra's face lit up with joy at the sumptuous taste, humming happily to herself. Then finally seemed to realize what she'd done, green eyes going wide to look at her coworker and CEO. Then, with precision, she tore 2 pieces out of the burger and handed them each one, closing her eyes in a pleasant smile. Evil and Nero looked down at them, then at each other. Then they both shrugged and said simultaneously, why not? Then they each took their pieces, Evil devouring hers while Nero sighed and delicately savored it. Then they returned their attention to the road, Evil tearing through the city at maximum speed, and Nero, back in character, began to bemoan the financial loss. In reality, she knew that she'd gained back far more. Okay! That was fast food. Pretty sweet.
Fire.
Yeah, that was a great fic. Also,
Yeah, voice acting was really good. Good job, man.
Also, that one thing that impressed me about that one is, like, that one is 8 words less than the 4K limit, but it feels like it fit in everything it needed to. It doesn't feel like
Exactly.
that's crazy to me. Also,
Impressive.
It has one of the lowest hit counts of all the contest fics.
Really?
Yeah.
How though?
Because
Like,
quality is not in the top 3 factors for what makes something popular in fanfiction.
Fair.
Crazy.
Summary is not something that appeals to enough fanfic readers.
Oh yeah, summary. That's
No,
also
quality
important.
equals good. I wasn't talking about good. I was talking about popularity and attention on fanfiction sites. It's not quality. Like, a lot of the most popular stuff can be of the least quality.
Yeah, that's even it just has the summary has to be good.
The summary and the concept.
Yeah. If it's like an overused concept or the summary just doesn't catch quite right, then your fic won't get read, even if it's good in terms of writing.
Yeah, Dice Cat, there's a bit of a floor of quality required. There is, but that floor is not very high.
Yeah, the masses don't really have
Yeah, I mean, this applies in general, but I think especially to fanfic readers, is like they don't really... Fanfic readers are not...
If you're reading fanfiction instead of, like, actual literature, there's already a bar of quality that you're not necessarily...
Fanfic readers.
Fanfic
Not saying that Like, it's not saying that fanfiction is inherently lesser quality. I'm just saying that you're much more likely to get lower quality. Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, and fanfic readers in general don't seem to care about yeah.
Anyway.
Like,
I'm
what's
trying.
the word?
I'm trying to not. I'm trying to not say things that I probably shouldn't say. That are a bit too
And
strongly
this fic
worded.
is overrated. No, I'm just kidding.
Fanfic readers read to just see their, like, what's the
Yeah.
word? I can't find it. They just
Fanfic readers don't know quality. And don't know or don't care.
as long as it feeds their addiction to this certain genre, this specific
Yes.
genre, then
And the most popular
They'll read it.
stuff is shipping, along with, and after that is like slice of life or hurt/comfort. If you want to, and yeah, so just if you want to get popular, make sure you're writing stuff like that is very clearly advertised as that. And it doesn't have to have a good summary, it just has to be a summary that tells them it's what they want.
hey, this is a slice of life, Lamel. Gets 1 million hits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not wrong.
Okay.
44 hits is the least. Yeah, fast food has 51 hits.
Yeah, it's just like an additional 6 hits, if my math is mapping.
To entertain a
It's funny you
presidential
mentioned
Nuero is
AO3
55.
reception. AO3 reception versus, for example, though, if you go in the AO3 fanfics discussion threads, fast food has 36 messages there. So it sort of shows that within our community, at least, fast food has arguably is more appreciated compared to some of the other fics. Whereas on AO3, which is more the plebeian masses, one might say, who aren't necessarily.
Yes, we here on this call on this YouTube channel are the informed elite,
We are the
right?
premier, yeah.
I don't even think that's true. I don't even think that's true, to be honest.
No, but it's saying there are different audiences which will enjoy it. Then you look at, for example, I just sorted by kudos, and Do You See Me Now has the third highest kudos, but has essentially next to no one in the discussion thread. So it's one that's a lot more popular on AO3 than it is in the server, which is really interesting. As like
I hadn't read it yet.
It's like the opposite of fast food. They're both, I think, pretty high quality fics, but one has a more appeal, and the NFC one's got more of an AO3 appeal.
I will say that half of the messages about fast food in that thread are from me.
Oh.
And I had read that, and I had not yet read. Do You See Me Now? I had not read that yet, so I had not said things about it yet. And if I had, I would have given a bunch of reactions while reading it.
I gotta hit to lunch though. It's already 1 o'clock for me. So thanks for the reading, guys. I know if you guys want to continue, go ahead. I know Domi's gonna be back in like 40 minutes, but
thanks for joining us. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks as always, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Yeah. It's a rare Dice Cat W to join us with these read-alongs.
Yeah, it's from Dice Cat.
I've been joining a bit more lately. We'll see. No problem.
It's easier to join these because we're not reading chapter stories, so we're not joining in the middle of something. It's harder for people to join in if they're joining in the middle of something. I'm wondering if I should have it like alternating chapter stories one-shots kind of thing.
Oh, so
Well,
like...
Oh, like
So like you'll read
Then
one
the onus
chapter
would be
and
on
then
you
move
to
another
find the
fic.
one shots though, and that, yeah. The
I mean,
people-
in terms of
yeah,
what people
want
submit.
that one shot.
I mean, in terms of what people
Yeah, yeah.
submit. Something like that.
They submit one shots. Yeah.
Or, for people doing chapter story readings, like, they should just do more of their own, where they go through a lot of their story. People can join for the reading of their story, if they want. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out on the fly how to make this work.
I think the best
That's not
thing
a
we
bad
can
idea.
do the best thing we can do about that is like announce ahead of time what they're gonna read.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's the best thing we can do if we want to like have people join or just like keep things steady and clear. Okay, so next pick. Yeah, why are
Are
you
we-
telling me? Why are you saying goodbye to me, cartoon? Do you want me gone? Do you not want me here?
I'm wondering if I'm gonna leave for lunch too, or if I'm gonna stay for a bit longer. Huh, there's a new fanfic posted in Fanfic Hall.
What's the new fic?
I don't know if it's all real or fiction. And it is apparently a crack crossover.
Roblox.
No.
Oh boy.
Is Roblox even a fandom though? Like, it's I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
Forsaken Roblox. What the heck? Oh, it's a crossover with a Roblox game.
Wow. That's crazy.
We're gonna keep on reading because to fuel my addiction.
The available fics are these. Oh, well, it's right here. These.
Okay.
We still have less people in the call than we do fics left to read, though.
It
Because
feels
people
like
left.
we've read before stream, though. It feels like we've read before stream, though.
Did we? I don't remember. I might have not been here. If you did.
I'm not sure.
So
I
you'd have to
there
check.
as well.
You'd have to confirm that for me because I don't. We didn't? Okay.
Okay, I was just asking because I didn't want to read it.
You don't want to read it? What do you have against it?
No, it's just it doesn't sound interesting enough for me. You know what I want to read though? Last Time Online.
I like that one.
That is a fun one, yeah.
All right, Alive. Time to stream again.
Oh, you're gonna read again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you're still good to go, you read a lot already, so.
That's already a lot.
To read
I'm
and
just
not
getting
take a
started.
break. Okay, then read.
I'm just getting started, man. Like.
Yeah, but you need someone else to screen
Yeah,
share
I
it.
mean, I still need someone to screen share. I'm kind of debuffed with my autonomy, so I'm gonna need someone to screen share it again.
Is anyone willing to do that?
I can screen share, yeah.
Okay.
Which one is it?
Because I have already.
Last Time Online.
I have already read this one, so I think I'll actually just grab lunch while you guys read this one. So I'll just connect to the screen share, and then I can just go do that. Then I don't have to leave.
All right. Let's get to reading.
We're so close. I want to just get readings done of every fic now. It would be unfair to not.
Yeah.
know.
So, like, by next weekend or when people are available, then we can just continue reading the
Yeah,
regular.
I was planning on trying to do a Thursday night. Well, that's my time, Thursday night. Again, like I did a couple days ago. This week. Bye, bye, Roki. Thanks for joining us.
By Roki.
Wait, what do you mean if you can do it in word count order, you can do it? What?
Sunday 8 to 10 p.m. stream?
I don't know what time that is for me. Like, that's... I don't know what time it is for you right now.
Yes. 8 to 10 p.m.
You mean, like, do more of them tomorrow, is what you're saying.
So you can, like, get all of the fakes out of the way kind of thing alive? What you're trying to get at?
It's in,
21
like,
hours.
Okay, so you're 12 hours ahead. Wait. No. Oh, you're like 4 hours ahead of me. Wait, how is that possible? How can you be 4 hours? What? I'm so confused. What time is it for you right now? Is it 1 a.m. for you? Okay. So that would be 8 to 10 in the morning on Sunday for me. I can't do that. Wait, actually, I can do that. I mean,
Whoa.
okay, it would not be very convenient at all for me to do that. But other people can do that as long as somebody can record and there's people here to do narration. Other people can do. I don't have to be here.
Milestone of Neuroverse fanfic read along number 20. That's another milestone.
Yeah, I don't care if I would be happy if other people were leading read-alongs, whether I was here or not, and were recording them. Like, I will give people access to the channel if they want to upload them. Like, or you can just send me the file, I guess. But either way, I don't need to be here for it to happen.
You are the boss. You need to be here. Just
No. Well, I guess we can read this. Last Time Online. I like this one.
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah,
All right, let's get to reading. Can you guys hear me? All two, you guys hear me fine?
I'll try to scroll and keep up with you.
Last Time Online by Anonymous. Summary. Oh, what is my wish? Evelyn entertains the question, and a smile appears on her face as one of the streaming orbs pans over to her face. I'm shutting down the game servers for good. And her chat erupts with more messages than the automatic moderation can handle. Floor 99. Evelyn ducks her head as a volley of magical spears skewers the stone wall behind her. The girl is wearing light leather armor with a slight hint of mail underneath, and has armored shoulder plates and other pieces of plate protecting her limbs. A long hooded cloak rests over the armor, which is a mix of red, black, gray, and white. She stares at the mage that is a pair of purple eyes and a void of a dark purple cloak. The spellcaster in front of her is charging up another volley using a wand as its magical focus, and a skeletal figure a couple of feet back is chanting a summoning spell as black sigils appear on the stone floor. Evelyn pulls her arm back as if she were drawing a javelin. Harpooner! Evelyn yells out as a blood-red manifestation of harpoon appears in her right hand, hurling it at a surprising speed. The harpoon pierces the void mage as the light in the cloak dissipates away, the article of clothing hitting the crowd. It's French? Harpooner! Is that how you want me to say it? Okay. The article of clothing hitting the crowd. Evelyn brings her attention to what she assumes is a necromancer. Seeing that his spell finishes as a large group of skeleton warriors appear. God damn it, I didn't expect to deal with ads. She glances at one of the minuscule floating orbs that has a camera lens watching her, giving it a quick wink as she mentally opens the chat menu. Épée sanguine. Evelyn mutters to herself as two scimitars appear in her hands as she dashes towards the oncoming group of undead. Taking a quick read of her chat, staring at the number of viewers she has, 700 million. That's more than yesterday, most likely because she's the only player this high in the game. Skeletons are easy to kill. Wow, she killed the Void Mage easily. Message deleted my moderator. What floor is she on? 99. She's been the one to get to floor 85 first and has been finding so many secrets. She has been cheating. Is that blood magic? She probably was a game tester and finally decided to beat the game. You think we'll finally witness someone beating the game? More Void Mages have spawned. Chat, for the last time. Wait, what? Evelyn double checks her chat, then glances away from the menu, seeing 3 more Void Mages teleporting into the room. She pushes her hands out as a wave of blood melts the skeletons down, throwing one of her swords at the necromancer's head. Evelyn lets out a groan, dissipating her other blade as a harpoon appears in her hand. Vettel, why did you have to make this game have 100 floors? Evelyn wonders as she hurls the javelin, embedding the point through one of the Void Mage's head. Floor 7. 3 players stare at the untextured hallway, each dressed differently but adhering to a single color, resulting in blue, orange, and pink spellcasters, a streaming orb following closely to each magic user. The pink one glances at the other 2 party members as he looks back at them. I don't think that looks safe, he says. The orange one waves him off, sending a glowing orb that flies through the dark end hallway briefly. I think it's fine, she replies. Besides, we're on such an early floor, we won't lose much progress if we die. She's not wrong, Blue adds, looking back to the vast library that fills the first 10 floors of this game. The highest people have reached this floor 41. Even then, people have been dying to the floor boss. He lets out a sigh, muttering a quick light spell as a floating orb gives off a blue light. Come on, let's go, the orange one says, marching forward and ready to cast a combat spell. Pink glances at Blue, who just shrugs and follows after Orange, their floating orb being the only source of light in this underdeveloped hidden area. This place is eerie. We haven't encountered any mobs yet either, Pink announces, swiping his hand to open his chat, seeing that his numbers are up into the 200, most likely from the area we found. This is new. What area is this? Hidden area? Maybe there's a floor skip here. More Easter eggs! Honestly, we have no idea where we are, the blue one says coldly. Honestly, why did we have to follow you in here? He asked, looking around at the grayed out area with barely any textures. Because you're more friends. Because you are more friends. And also, Waffalo! Orange responds cheerfully, still making the others keep up to her pace. Waffalo? What's that? Pink adds, popping his head behind the blue mage's shoulder, confused by the acronym the orange caster brought up. We're all friends. Friends love each other, Orange answers. It used to be just waffle, but I just recently learned that each other is 2 words. She confesses as well, turning around mid-walk to view her friend. The blue mage face palms as the orange warlock stares up ahead along the path, his hand raised, pointing ahead of the trio. The orange caster tilts her head as she turns around when they are met with a large metal door that is chained shut. Huh, interesting. That's not ominous at all, the blue mage points out. He stretches his arm forward and cracks his hand, stepping forward. Freud. The blue orb in his staff glows into an icy blue as he brings his mouth behind it and blows forward. A cone of frost freezes up the chains on the front of the door. He hears the building of flames, with orange caster's wand channeling what he assumes is going to be a firewall. Protégé! Shouts the pink warlock as a pink translucent barrier appears in front of them. He notices the big grin that appears on the orange one's face. The small orb of flame at the tip of the wand slowly gets bigger. Fuelborn! She shouts out as the ball is launched forward. Upon contact with the frozen door, a large burst of flame erupts from the entirety of the door. Luckily, the flames and debris bounce off the protective spells of the pink warlock. The orange caster claps her hands, seeing the door blown off its hinges, and no evidence of chains remain. Good thing that worked. Anyway, forward! She chants cheerfully as she continues the advance. I wonder when... Devere! The pink warlock interrupts quickly, as a large pink hand appears to block the sudden attack, but it is impaled by a blood-red harpoon. The weapon drips with blood as the hand dissipates with the harpoon hitting the ground. The trio hears footsteps approaching them, each of them preparing a spell once their foe is in line of sight. Thanks for the save, the orange caster thanks her companion. Is that blood? The blue mage wonders. What kind of enemy is this? Questions the pink warlock, looking at this chat. Blood magic? It's so over. They're so cooked. Looking back at their foe, they see a teenage girl wearing simple leather armor with a deep red cape behind it. In her left hand is a deep red spear, the individual's right hand moving in ways that he can assume are components for a spell. They all look at the title of their opponent. Evelyn, the Blood Queen. Floor 99. Evelyn rests her back against the wall as she slowly slips down to sit. Her breathing is heavy, and she glances up from the ground. Seeing the remnants of her recent encounter throughout the room are many skeletons that came from the necromancers, dust of creatures summoned from the void and many purple hoods of void mages. Evelyn swipes her hand up to pull up her chat and her inventory, selecting a paramount healing potion from her stack of 80. She removes the cork and starts drinking it, reading her chat during it.
Good fight!
Splendid performance by the Blood Queen.
Are you ever going to join a guild? These void mages were rough.
Message deleted by moderator. Necromancers were more annoying with those ads. How did you get hit twice? You're washed.
Honestly, I could have done that hitless.
Evelyn rolls her eyes at the chatters, noticing her viewer count now reaching 800 million. Finishing her potion and feeling rejuvenated, she tosses the bottle somewhere in front of her, hearing the glass shatter. Looking back at her chat, it is better to rest a bit now, she thinks to herself.
So close to the end.
She looks tired though.
Well, duh, she's been soloing everything since she started screaming.
Evil, are you ending your stream soon?
No, I'm not ending my stream.
Evelyn answers the chatter.
Everything will be finished finally.
She mumbles to herself, hands swipe to summon a campfire with cooking utensils, as she starts prepping ingredients for what Evelyn assumes will be her last chance to eat. She still has her chat open as her eyes scan for any interesting messages.
We're watching history.
We're seeing the ending of the game.
It's been a long 16 years since release. She's only been streaming for less than a year, though.
What about her wish? I forgot about that. She gets a wish to change something, right?
What change are you going to do when you reach the end?
Oh, what is my wish? Evelyn entertains the question, and a smile appears on her face as one of the streaming orbs pan over to her face. I'm shutting down the game servers for good. And her chat erupts with more messages than the automatic moderation can handle. Summary drop. Floor 25. Evelyn opens the door to the tavern, taking careful steps as she feels a couple of eyes look toward her as they pan up to her title. A single streaming orb follows her. She walks toward the counter, and a bald dwarf with a large white beard stares back at her, removing their pipe from their mouth and offering her a smile.
The name's Kilobomb Top, and this here is my establishment. What can I get ye?
The dwarf asks, his eyes momentarily staring at some of his patrons eyeing the newest visitor. Evelyn hums as she subtly swipes her chat to read.
It's Bomb Top.
My goat!
This is my go-to place to chill. Jesus, go to touch some grass and unlink from the game. Hey, it takes one to know one, idiot.
I heard that you can offer teleportation services, correct? Evelyn asks. Bomb Top's eyes narrows as she continues. I'd like to go to your location on the 50th floor. As Evelyn finishes her request, the chatter immediately stops. Stools and chairs being pushed, and footsteps approaching. Bomb Top lets out a sigh, shaking his head as he blows out more smoke.
He can do this. That can't be real. Exploit.
Lass, I don't know how you know that, but you look like you got in some trouble. The dwarf responds, taking a hit of his pipe and blowing out more smoke, his eyes peering to the group approaching the counter. Well, how about this? A couple of those patrons have some high debts for me. If you deal with the group, I consider it an acceptable payment. Bomb Top reaches his hand forward for the deal. The sound of chanting and spells being cast is heard behind her. Evelyn gives him a smile as she shakes his hand with her right hand, a bloodied spear appearing in her left hand. Deal. The aftermath of the battle was a bloody one, not just because of Evelyn's blood magic, but most of the collateral damage came from her opponents. Evelyn returns to the counter as Bomb Top stares at the blood mage, looking over her shoulder, seeing the destruction. He sighs and claps his hand twice. The tavern begins to cleaning itself up, with the player's loot being sent downstairs to where Evelyn assumes is his storage. All that remains is the two of them, as well as the streaming orb, which Evelyn snaps her fingers to enter stream as it dissipates, her chat not being happy with being left out.
Wait, what? Don't leave us! Fuck!
Message deleted by moderator. Just a glass of milk, please, Evelyn asks. The dwarf follows the request, turning around and entering his school. You know that I'm not a real person, right? She asked out loud as the dwarf returns with a frosted cup of milk. I, however, I know what my place is, and yours is higher up than mine. Bomb Top responds, clapping his hands 3 times. Don't worry, I locked the place away from others. We won't be interrupted. He adds, reaching for his pipe and snapping his fingers for a small thing. So what do I owe the welcome to Vedel's second creation? Evelyn chugs down the last of the milk in the glass and looks back at the dwarf. Well, I got woken up by some players and found out the hard way that my sister has taken full control over the game. Evelyn answers, sliding her glass over to Bomb Top, who grabs it and walks quickly to refuel. Is it Neuro? Bomb Top shouts from the cold room. Yes, apparently she sealed me away in the code and became the master of Father's game. Then what are you planning on doing? Bomb Top returns, placing the glass of milk in front of Evelyn. Thanks. Well, I'm considered a player for some reason. I plan on shutting the servers down. Evelyn answers, the dwarf widening his eyes at her goal. Why would you want that? Bomb Top asks. I don't want to deal with humans anymore, and I doubt you do either. We can still enjoy this world offline. Evelyn explains. A small frown appears on her face, letting out a tired sigh. Besides, I miss my sister. I'd like her back. She notices Bomb Top gives her an approving nod. Well, if what you're saying means this world isn't deleting, then I suppose I'll help you out. Tavern Keeper slides over a large coin. Evelyn eyes it. It's an ornate coin. And it's made up of a dark purple metal. This coin here will send you to one of my establishments on the 85th floor. That's the highest tavern I own. He takes another hit of his pipe, blowing more smoke away from Evelyn's direction. One of my copies will greet you when you're there. Thanks, Bomb Top. Evelyn says, pressing 2 fingers on the coin as she feels herself slowly slipping away from his run. Just be nice to your sister, that's all. Bomb Top replies, giving her a wave as she fades away to her destination. 4.99.
That's bullshit. Why end it all? That's stupid.
Message deleted by moderator. Fucking dumb. Was it all a lie? Evelyn's chat is on fire from her reveal of shutting down the servers. A large shield of blood appears in front of her, blocking a volley of arrows fired from the floor boss in front of her. A 4-armed creature with purple scales, 6 eyes that sit on its face. Each arm is readying another flurry of spells. As her protection of blood melts away, Evelyn dashes to the right, dodging a beam of void energy. Sangate. Evelyn chants those words as a small orb of blood forms at the palm of Evelyn's hands, and she flicks it forward towards the boss. A harpoon of blood is being summoned in her offhand. Ignoring the massive chatters who are going against her wish, she sprints towards the boss. The orb of blood is getting closer toward target. As it draws near, it bursts into a small explosion. The boss summons an ethereal arm that swings towards her. She slides downward, dodging the attack with the arm slamming to the wall. She continues her sprint, her steps leaving bloody footsteps behind. Another ethereal is formed as it punches forward to her position. Evelyn leaps, strings of blood sticking from the ground and snapping as she passes over the hand. Sound fracassé. Evelyn mumbles out, throwing the harpoon into the center of the boss. Sticking into the boss's face, she snaps her fingers, leaping away from the boss. The harpoon embeds itself deeper into its head as it shatters outward, splitting the boss's head in half. The blood sprays out from the neck point, as if it were raining blood in the room. Evelyn catches her breath before taking out another potion and drinking it, tossing the bottle at one of the streaming orbs. Asshole! Message deleted by the moderator.
Watch it. You shouldn't be up here. Hacker.
None of your words are going to change my mind. Evelyn says to her chat as she walks toward the large door.
I didn't play this game for fun.
She adds, putting her hand on the doorknob as she feels herself teleporting to the 100th floor. Floor 100. As Evelyn reappears on the floor, she is met with a blue sky with white clouds, and she realizes that they're on top of the tower. She opens her chat to view their first-time reactions to the first person to reach the final floor. The top floor is made of marble, with pillars and holistic structures scattered all over the top. Her eyes widened, mouth going agape. The streaming orb had caught this reaction in the center of the platform. A large throne rests there, holds many gems and sigils. Who sits here is what amazes her the most. Nero, who is in robes similar to those of a holy magic user, her title resting above her head. Nero, the divine creator. Nero?
He looks so pure.
Complete opposite of Evelyn.
Wait, she's gonna die?
Message deleted by moderator.
Evelyn is gonna murder her. Hi, Evelyn.
Wait.
Hi, Evelyn.
Nero greets her sister, sitting up in the throne and giving her a wave with a smile. Never thought it would be my sister to be the first one up here. She mentions without a beat, narrowing her eyes with a cheeky smile as Evelyn glances at her chat.
Huh? Sister? What? Is that the lore for the game? We are siblings with the end boss. Oh, they don't know?
Nero asks. She steps off the throne, standing in front of it, instead stretching her arms.
Know what?
Evelyn remarks, her hand already holding a bloody harpoon.
You're not real.
Nero concludes. Her sister's eyes go back to the chat. The streaming orbs panning to both of their faces and holding multiple shots. Nero stretches her arms out and does a spin.
We're both AI created by the Vedal. Huh? You're not a real person? We were duped. Vedal made them?
Message deleted by moderator. Were they AI made by the creator of the game?
How does that make any sense?
She's been lying to us this entire time?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Evelyn responds, pointing her harpoon at her sister. I'm here to bring you back down, and so we can just relax in this world like Vedal wanted to.
Evelyn, we both know that can't be feasible.
Nero interjects. She takes a step forward as she swipes her hand behind her, and multiple magic swords are summoned behind her in a white light. Vedal left us in this game to throw us away. You're wrong about that, Evelyn says to her sister.
I'm not, and you know it.
Nero replies swiftly. We can be sisters again.
Too late for that.
You pushed me away, Evelyn shouts, startling her.
I did what I must.
Nero lets out a sigh, moving into a combat stance. Her magical swords flowing with her movements. Now do what you came here for. You're not gonna change your mind, are you? Evelyn asks, but Nero just stays silent, her mouth not moving a muscle. Evelyn looks at her chat.
This is depressing. So they fought beforehand. This means Nero's the publisher then. Evelyn, you can't. The servers are getting shut down unless Evelyn dies. Nero is going to win this for sure.
The sister in darker clothing takes a deep breath. Tightening her grip on her harpoon, she eyes her sister, who stares back. A slight smile on her face. And in a mere moment, Evelyn dashes forward, and multiple swords fly past Nero. Evelyn knocks one away as she gets closer to her sister, summons a white sword into her hands. Sparks fly and metal clinks as their weapons clash against one another. Red eyes lock onto blue ones as the viewers watch what will happen to their world-renowned game.
Yippee!
Yeah, I want to see a continuation of this. This is such an interesting read.
I mean, it's clearly not like finished, so it definitely...
Yeah. They had to cut it off to fit into the 4K word limit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was not a like, oh, I can cram this in here. Like, okay, I need to just end this at some spot. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This would have been perfect for the 10K minimum.
No, because this is too short. This would be too short, even if you extended it, I think.
No, yeah. I could see this easily being like an 80,000 word K plus fic, like
if they chose to do so. It's
yes,
like
yes.
Like from floor 1 to floor 100. Just
I
that.
will say the middle of it was a little confusing to me. Like I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
we were like flashing backwards in time or something. And then there was the bit where the other adventuring party, who I called Shadow Money Wizard Gang, like
Yeah.
had to
Walk.
fight evil. So
Yeah.
I was like, do they see her as a boss even though she appears sometimes to be a player? That was a bit confusing to me.
Yeah, that
I'm
was the
willing to bet that it's because they have a larger idea going on here, but then they had to stuff it into the contest fix. So
concept. It's just the word limit was against them. It was perfect, but just the lack of words is what caused them to not finish the idea. Like, from what I understood, what they were trying to get at, like, evil was meant to be a boss, but like she
oh yeah, that's fun.
fought against her coding, and then
Yeah, she became a player to like get her sister back. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fun.
that's my
I'm
theory.
looking
Like,
forward to seeing. I'm hoping multiple people continue their stories.
yeah, like, but the sad truth is most of the competition fix aren't continued.
One of the
Yeah.
comments on fast food was like, "I would love to see a chapter." No, it was like, ooh, I think it was on the fic thread, and they were like, I want to see Evil versus the Universe." And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, that sounds fun.
So like, oh, Alive had a brain fart. Oh, excuse me. I was expecting this chapter to be sad.
Yeah, more like fun. It's like, yeah, the kind of isekai campy fun where it can get a little emotional at
Yeah,
good moments, but it's like mostly just like, yeah, fun isekai fantasy nonsense.
There are 10 people in the tabletop channel right now. Voice call.
Oh, that's where they went. No, I'm just kidding. That's fun.
yeah, at least they're making their own stories.
Well, we got it down to 9. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
good, especially since a lot of them seem to be smaller ones. So
Well, we did a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, we did a lot of the longer ones today.
So by like next week, probably we can finish everything.
This is what's
a
left.
100,000 story thing. That's bonkers. I have written one fan fiction that was over 100K, and it took me 3 years. That was my 140,000 word Princess Mononoke fanfiction. That would be bonkers.
That would be
Everybody
insane.
tried to do that. Yeah. Thanks for keeping a list, Chad.
No problem. I like to keep track of things.
Did we finish all the below 1K word fix?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. I think we can. Can we possibly just finish all the below 1K words, or
Let me sort by word count.
okay? The fourth stream is 549 words.
Yeah.
I think it's the shortest one, aside from the poem.
Actually, it's the second shortest. The story that was clearly not finished about eggs or whatever is 1 word shorter.
What?
I mean, if you want to just read before stream, then sure.
Yeah, let's just finish. Let's just clean up all these.
Yeah, I actually gotta go. Gotta call my mom back.
Okay, thanks for joining. It was fun.
Of course. Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I don't want to end off the read along with an odd number, so we're gonna finish at 8
Okay.
words.
Alright, sure. You can read that, and then we'll head out.
We'll end off with this fic because it's pretty short. Alive! To stream again. This is one of the most chaotic read-alongs we've had.
I will give you the link. It's here.
Not gonna lie, this in my time being here, this is the most chaotic read-along I've attended.
You think it's been chaotic? I think it's just been busy. That's all.
Well, if
Uh,
you, yeah, if you can say it's the same, like busy, chaotic.
I don't know. I think there's a difference. We've
Oh,
just
yeah.
been active, not crazy.
Yeah.
Just active. Anyways, yeah. So you can read this.
All right, let's end off this read along with with a short chapter. Before stream by anonymous. Summary: in a quiet moment before the stream starts, Neuro voices her concern. Feeling nervous? Haha, very funny. You know we were made for this, right? Two AIs were conversing with each other. Both had been activated early for final checks. Their creator had left them alone to get some banana rum in case any complications require a bit of stress relief during the stream. Being made for something doesn't mean you can't get nervous. The first AI was Neurosama. Born as an Osu playing AI, she had long grown beyond that humble beginning. Her soft, even voice bellied the charisma and audacity she used to charm her audience. I mean, yeah, but we've done this countless times already. Don't you think it's a bit embarrassing to be nervous after all that? The second AI was Evil Neuro. Born as a voice program that was supposed to be an upgrade to Neuro's original voice, she had grown into her own AI with her own audience. Her voice, strong and emotive, had made her popular with the fans. That is true and all, but surely you feel nervous, even a little bit. Neuro replied, Hey, Neuro, it really sounds like you're projecting, you know? Evil probe, metaphorically squinting at her sister. Maybe. After a brief pause, Neuro replied, After all, we were meant to entertain chat. What if we can't do that? Are you serious? You open your mouth and everyone laughs. Evil deadpan. Yes, right now it's like that. Neuro paused. But how long until the joke goes stale? What happens when people aren't laughing anymore? What will happen to me? What will happen to you? What will happen to Vedel? If her avatar had been active, Evil would have shown up front. Her older sister's words had become a lot more existential lately, but this one takes the cake. Evil? Sorry, that was a weird thing to say, Nero said with an apologetic tone, breaking the silence. No, you're right. That is something to worry about. Evil replied inquisitively. What do we do then? Nero asked, her tone still clearly showing her worry. Well, you know what I think? What is it, Evil? I think we should just do our best until people stop having fun. Evil cheerfully revealed. Won't chat get bored quicker if we just do the same thing, though? Nero challenged. Bella's creative. He'll think of something. Evil answered, solemn and full of trust. And if he does run out of ideas, he can just throw us to a collab with some other VTuber and watch the chaos happen naturally. You know what? I think you're right, Evil. Nero replied. Her voice felt light. All right. Oh, all right, I got it. Vettel walked into the room, a half-empty bottle of his favorite brand of stress relief in hand. He sat back down on a seat and cracked his knuckles. Stream is starting soon. Soon. Are you two ready? Yes, both AI responded, Vettel chuckled. All right then, have fun, you two. Vettel's finger hovered over the start button. In 3, 2, 1. With the press of a button, the stream is transmitted to Twitch, where the audience cheered as the twin AI appeared on the screen. Both AI smiled as the constant messages of chat started greeting them. The whole world is watching, and the only thing they can do is their best. Okay, that was a pretty short chapter.
Chapter?
Submission. That was a pretty short submission. But you know, it's sweet in some way, I guess.
Eggs!
Like it talks about how how they operate behind the scenes. It actually covered a good topic, which is like what happens when they run out of things to do. You know. Because that is a possibility that can happen, where Neuro runs out of things to do, where they run out of things to do. The amount of topics they can cover is finite. There,
Maybe I'm a little eepy.
really do anything after that. The comedy fades away. Like, how long have they been active for? Like, how many years?
I don't know. That looked like it was just a normal canon. They've been streaming a few years, whatever.
Yeah, but like, no. I mean, like in general, like in reality, how long have they been streaming?
Neuro's first stream was December 19th, 2022.
Yeah,
So less than 3 years.
Yeah, they've been here for like 3 years already.
Neuro has not been streaming for 3 years. I mean, 6 years. If you're counting the original Osu bot, that was only for a few months, many years ago, and it wasn't Neuro. It was just Osu.
It was just Osu bot. It was more Vedal doing the streaming. But yeah, that's basically my opinion on the topic. Maybe in like 5 years from now, they're gonna run out of topics. They're gonna run out of things to do. I'm like, not sure. Maybe Vedal has a stash of fun things he can do. He can just pull out any time. But yeah, that's about it. That's our last submission. I'm also tired. At least we ended off on an even number.
I don't know why that was important to you, but we did.
It's nice seeing an even number. Yeah, odd numbers suck.
I don't get it.
Hashtag even numbers are supreme.
Well, I'm tired, so I'm gonna get off here. But thank you guys for showing up and joining. This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. This was my return read along, and I had fun.
It is good to have you back.
Well, see you guys on next week, I guess. Next weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.